You need income property. When you have a house or when you have a condominium, then you have to pay the mortgage and you have to pay for the expenses. But I find you a 6-unit apartment building that has an owner's unit in front. And you're gonna stay there in this owner's unit. And then you're gonna go and pay for your...
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I am so excited to be back with you guys today. We had such a great response from everyone that came yesterday about what you heard, what you learned. We had a huge number, by the way, a massive show-up number. Show-up number means, how many people registered for this, Jared?
2,000.
No.
Yeah. 45.
Bro, it's always the other number. I don't, like, come on. We've been doing this together long enough. 45,000 for this. My gosh. Okay. Sure. And we had, what was the next number, Jared? Under the 45,000?
2,200.
2,200 people said they were going to show, or what? What was the deal? Yeah. And then of that, like 80% showed up, which we have never, ever had. Now, I don't know why that is, why it was the perfect time, whether it was a perfect time, perfect day, or and suspect. Many of you out there are tired of getting beat up by the government, by inflation, by tax. Investing in order to a bunch of Q&A. They had a lot of questions, probably different questions, people that I think started getting people to think about and how they could possibly.
Mike's going in and out, guys.
People say my mic's going in and out. We are losing. Bro, I got you. We can't hear you, Uncle G. Okay, you want to change this, Mike? Okay, in comes the artillery. That's been down there for a while. I'm going down to Guantanamo Bay on a special project, and maybe you could send me a note or something and I can get it into the prison. You want to send a little basket or something? I can make sure. Either I'm going there for a special project, I'm going there because they're deporting me and not telling me. Who knows? Okay. So hopefully you guys can hear me now. I was saying yesterday we had the highest show up rate that we have ever had on any event we've ever done. And I suspect that that's really because many of you are trying to figure out how to get your money that you're working so hard for, or maybe cash that you have in a bank that's being destroyed, or maybe you're in the stock market. Okay, how much money's been lost? What has the S&P 500 done this year? So, some of you have lost 11% of your retirement accounts in 10 minutes 2 Fridays ago. You're down negative 3%. So if you had $1 million in a retirement account, you've lost 30,000 this year. If you had 100 grand, you lost 3,000. Well, it's only 3,000. Okay, well, it's 3,000. It's 3% of the money that you earned. That's 2.5 weeks of work for most people. It's 3,000, and you keep going down. And the reality is, the S&P 500. Let me just see if I can find this article I just saw this morning. You're like, when do you get time to read this stuff? I pay attention to money because it's kind of important. And let me just say, when I was starting this journey, I didn't have any money. And when I started reading this stuff, it was very, very confusing to me. Trust me, when you start reading anything that's new, it's going to be very confusing. I'm studying the Federal Reserve right now. Okay, it's extremely confusing. There's this whole history combined. There's all these words I don't understand, and I just keep telling myself while I'm doing it, whether it's I'm reading Wall Street Journal or Barron's, or I'm looking through a financial statement on an apartment deal, or I'm looking at learning something new about how to go public, whatever it is, you're going to be very uncomfortable in the beginning. You're not going to understand. My advice to you is, and I tell myself this all the time, just keep reading. Okay, consistently looking at it every day, and then one day, second day, third day, fourth day, 10th day, 20th day. Hey, this is starting to make sense to me. But if you quit, it's never going to make sense to you, okay? Since 2005, the S&P 500 has delivered an impressive return averaging approximately 9% per year. That's what that article says. That is not true, actually, okay? The S&P 500, by the way, this was, if you look at the last losses, has delivered, S&P 500, has delivered less than 3%, hasn't kept up with gold. There was no reason to take a risk in it. Do you see something?
The last 3 months, it was down 5.8%.
Yeah, so don't believe every one of these headlines. You don't have to believe every Google search that you do, folks. Not everything.
I'm reading the actual chart.
Yeah, Jared's reading the chart for the year, so that makes it really a big deal. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find what I found this morning. Let's see here. Okay, I can't find what I want right now, and I don't want to waste your time on it. Okay, the S&P 500, relative to the equal weighting, has dropped to the nearest low since 2009. Okay. Also, I got something from a friend of mine, economist in Canada, David Rubenstein. We have had 9 days of up movement in the stock market, and you guys are maybe you're not in the stock market. Maybe you IRA or 401k. All that money's sitting there and dependent upon it. And David Rubenstein came up and said, we have had 9 up days. This has never happened. It's happened 0.025% of the history of the stock market. Like it's only happened like 8 or 9 times. And every single time that it happened, we went into a major huh? We went into a major correction, okay, including 2008. Look and see what the losses were in 2008. So you guys people always forget about these big losses. Like they get over them immediately. I'll bring you back just 4 or 5 years ago. The thing.
You lost 50%
of its value was gone. Okay, how long did it take to get that money back? No, everybody forgets this. Millions of homes were lost. Everybody forgets that millions of people lost their homes and lost all their equity and dragged out, lost their credit scores, lost everything. But those headlines get pushed down because Wall Street, 6 years. You lost 50% of your money. It would take 6 years to get even again. See, but what CNBC sends you every day in Fox Business, NVIDIA's up 21,000%. You know, like you're being manipulated to move your money. And this is what we started with yesterday. You're moving your money. You're moving your money from time. Remember, we started with this. You earn money. You get some money. You move it to an institution, a bank, right? This is the Bank of America, the Wells, whatever. You no longer have your money, by the way. You have lost your money right here. You send it to them. They don't even keep it, by the way. And then they send it out. Remember what I said. They lend it to all these people. That's going to be somewhere between 9 and 10 people. Car loan, they lend it out for a guy to buy a car. They lend it out to a guy to buy a house. They lend it out to a guy like me. Or they found some big investor and said, hey, why don't we just send all this? This is millions of people, by the way. Tens of millions of people sending in $2,000 into a bank every week, tens of millions, trillions of dollars, then gets lent out. Okay, what's going on? Like
an attendee in the VIP that was showing their screens.
Okay, good. Okay, so watch. You have your greatest asset, time, turns to what? What is this dollar? These things. We know about them, okay? You're running out of time and the money is going down in value. You take it, you slide it over to the bank. The bank doesn't even want this. Hopefully you guys are getting takeaways. You should have a legal pad today, or you have your notes pads and you want to be taking notes. Remember, and just put it in the chat right now, how much money do you have sitting in a checking or a savings account today? Jock says money is melting. Morgan says the mic is still failing. Okay, so Adam has $25,000 in a bank. Let's pretend that Adam had this money in 2000, what are we in, 2020. He had $25,000 in a bank in 2020. He's going to look at his bank account today, and it's going to still say $2,020. But in truth, that $25 today, Adam, will only buy $17,000 of the same goods and services. This is inflation. The value of the dollar did not go down. It will still say $100. The fact is, it will only buy about $80 worth of products and services. It's called the invisible tax or inflation, and almost no one understands this, okay? What is happening here is this. This bank right here is lending out your $100 10 times. When they lend it out, oh, there's Robert. Call Robert Gibbon. Call Robert Gibbon. I made this call before this is one of he's done $60 billion worth of in America.
Grant, what are you doing?
Robert, how you doing, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Great.
Good morning to you, man. Hey, how you feeling? Are you waking up this morning? How you feeling about the real estate market?
I'm feeling great about it. I had my first meeting this morning around 6:30 at Starbucks. I'm back at home, getting some things prepared, taking some guys to Formula One today. I was at Formula One yesterday with some folks that had flown in the real estate market, and we're doing a lot of business with, and we got things flying left and right. I feel great about it.
Yeah, great. Well, I'm gonna see you over there today.
Oh, good.
And
Awesome.
And I'm not wearing a watch.
As long as
Inside joke. And then let me ask you something. What's going on with Bezel?
So I have something to share with you about terms that I just got yesterday, last night, and there's a term sheet going back and forth with this guy that I've been telling you about, and I just got the counter back from the client, and it's pretty straightforward. So I was going to go over it with. I was going to show it to Rhino today and have him bring it back to you. But
you like it? Does it look good?
So it's a 50-50. The thing is, he wants you to get about $170 million in debt. So I think the thing that I think you might be concerned about is having that much debt on the deal.
Yeah.
And but the deal's purchase price is $252 million, and then we're splitting it 50-50 between the debt and the price. So, what is that? 20.
So I need 41. I need 41, and he's going to throw in 41 million of what not real money but equity, right?
Correct. So you guys be 41. You can manage the deal. You can have the property management, etc.
Yeah.
But he wants to put that $170 million of debt on there. So
yeah. Okay.
He thinks
so
that we can get agency oil on it.
Yeah. Let me ask you this now. Good. So when are we going to have that meeting about it?
We can do it this week.
Okay. Good.
I just need to make sure he's in town. I just want to go over this term sheet with you.
Great.
And then I'm going to set the meeting up this week.
Okay. Great. And we can get that deal, right?
We can get that deal. And we can also do the Boca deal and the Doral deal. We have 3 deals that we could do.
Yeah. Now what's
big deals?
Yeah, the Meisner deal. What's the name of that deal again?
101 via Meisner.
Okay. And you think we can get that deal done?
I do.
Via the stalking horse, or via the just go get it done?
Well, you and I are not on open mic right now, right?
No.
Okay, because that's a.
This is a very yeah. I mean, got it. This is a situation. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'll see you today over there. I don't know what club I'm in. I have no idea.
So I told Ryan I had a ticket for.
Yeah, no, I got handled by some people that are a little better connected than you.
Okay, so that's good because I'm not that well connected.
I'll see you over there. Let's play. I'm bringing a backgammon board too.
Let's go.
Okay, bye.
See you, man.
Okay, so look, one thing that we want you to do is hear the calls and the conversations. Now, obviously, I've made a relationship with this guy. Two, this guy's top of the food chain, one of the best brokers in the country, $50-60 billion worth of transactions. He knows the deals, he knows the sellers, he knows what's happening. Notice how he chopped this deal up for me, okay? We did not worry about price first. Price came, the first thing I wrote down was this. He's going to want $170 million worth of debt put on the deal. First thing is the deal, okay? Let me just back up a second. First thing was the deal itself. Let me see that. You see that deal? Now, when I show that deal, you're like, oh my God, where's that? Miami. Where in Miami? It's overlooking the American Airlines Stadium, downtown, right heart central. Has an Apple store right below it. Why is the location so? Can't buy it again. I can't change it. I can't alter it. You can't fix it. Location is location. You pay for it every day. You buy it once. You pay for that location every day. It's easier to get renters. It's easier to get leasing agents. It's easier to get attention. It's easier for me to promote it. And boom, it's sitting there every day in the skyline of Miami. Now watch. So you want to start with a great asset. Doesn't mean you need to start with a building that's $250 million. It could be, this deal could be $1 million. It could be $250,000. If it's in the right location, it's in the right location. So the price doesn't matter. I didn't even bring it up, and he didn't bring it up first. The first thing he brought up, remember we talked about taking little bites. Price, debt, equity. That's the price. The price is going to be the biggest number. The debt is going to be the next biggest number. The right deal will attract the right debt, and the smallest number is going to be the equity. Like Grant, he's going to want to put $170 million worth of debt on the deal. Good. He already has a loan for do anything. When you find the right deals, all the puzzle's going to be put together for you. He then said, you'll need to put $82 million in, of which the other guy's going to do half, which means I'm buying $250 million piece of real estate in prime Brickell, Miami, Florida, with $41 million. That's called what? Who knows the answer to what that question, what that is? Chat needs to be updated. Leverage, exactly, that's leverage. I'm using $41 to buy $252. That's about 6 times my leverage, okay? So that's what we talked about yesterday. Don't be overwhelmed, folks. Okay, you're not supposed to understand this. If you're like kind of like, like everything's flying around, all these images are hitting you, right? And you're like, I'm so dumb. No, you're not. You're hearing something for the first time, okay? You just had a baby, your first baby, and they're crying. You don't know what to do. Okay? It doesn't make you a bad parent. So you got in a car when you're 15 years old, 14 years old, and you're like, what's the clutch? What's the brake? What's the accelerator? It's not, you're not a bad driver. You just don't know what you're doing yet. You just got to get back in the car, keep getting comfortable, and one day, you'll be a great driver. Maybe. All right. So let's go to, this is how every deal works, by the way, when you're talking to the right person, okay? So yesterday, I want to talk about reviews. What did you learn yesterday? What did you learn yesterday? What did you hear yesterday? What did you just hear in that last conversation? I need a guy on the phone. I need a broker. I need to talk to somebody who has access to deals. I need to have a good deal. there's so much that came out of that little 6-minute phone call. Broker, a deal. I don't need to worry about the price and everything. If he thinks I'm the real buyer that I can buy, he's going to give me all the data. This is not like pulling teeth. And what'd you get out of the call, Jared? Just the nuances.
Well, like when you talk,
Need a relationship, need a network. Go ahead.
it's on HH2. You got it, number 2? What I got from it was the reinforcement of what you talked to the one fella yesterday about. I think his name was John. You were like, dude, you just pitched that deal wrong. Like you went right into kind of these deal points rather than getting lost in all the other stuff that doesn't matter, you know?
Yeah. So real quick, let's just write down what did you get out of yesterday? What did you walk away with yesterday? And then I'm going to do a real estate review with you of what you could have gotten out. But throw in the chat, what did you take away from yesterday that was most important to you? If there was 3 things that you got out of yesterday. And then I'll read some of these. Find your target. What's the target mean? Hey, what size deals are you even looking for? What are you trying to accomplish in 2025? We talked about a target. Hey, why don't you find one deal this year? Simple, easy to do. I'll show you how. Find one deal that makes you $1 million. One deal, $1 million in 2025. It doesn't have to be 500 units. It could be 4 units that makes you $1 million, okay? Location, we talked about. Find your deal. Be open to larger deals, okay? Real estate is a team sport, Jock said. Janet says confidence, go big on the location. Why? Why would you want to go bigger? Because the deals are easier to do. Everybody's better educated. And you're not going to get ripped off in a big deal. It is impossible, literally virtually impossible to get ripped off in a big deal like this one right here. Why? Because everybody in this deal is intelligent. So many distractions, Jared. Okay? Everybody, the guy selling this is intelligent. The guy that's going to give me the loan is intelligent. The guy that I'm dealing with is intelligent. The broker's intelligent. And by the way, they're all using identical information. As opposed to me going to Robert, who's never sold anything. He's had something for 10 years. He thinks it's worth $10 million. It's not. He's emotional about it because he's lived there for 10 years. And I fixed the kitchen. And look, I did this. And oh my God, I have solar on the roof. And I did all this wonderful stuff in it. And I'm like, yeah, so what, bro? Like, so what? It doesn't mean it's worth 10 million. It's worth 4. Okay? But he's emotional, so he's hard to buy from. And some of you are dealing with people that are emotional, they're not rational. And when they're emotional, they're either going to not sell it or they are going to get excited in the deal and blow the deal up on you. Okay, Joe talked about write-offs and beating inflation, that real estate has beat inflation for years. Big deal, Don says, superior locations. Ashley, playing small is more work than playing big. Stick with apartments, self-storage. Buy, don't build. Yes, buy, don't build. That property I'm showing you on the screen right now, Bezel, this guy's been in this project for 12 years. 12 years they've been involved in that project. From the start of it, to buying the land, to building the property, to the permits, to the designs, to the architecture. He's been involved in that deal since 2013. I moved to this town in 2013. That building wasn't there. He's had money invested in this deal for 12 years. I could buy that deal, close next month, and have passive income coming in on that deal. Okay? Now, just to validate how legit this is, and when you guys join our mentoring program, you're going to see this. Watch. You're going to see this. What I'm showing you in real time on a Sunday morning. I don't know what this is. Can I kill this?
Yeah, just kill that tab and go back to the red.
Okay. Watch this. The name of the deal is Bezel. It better be in here. Otherwise, it's going to make me look bad. Ryan, why'd you take it off my sheet? It's not on my sheet, man. Working deals. Hold on. Lost deals. Nope, it's not in here. So I look like an ass.
Bruh.
So then what you do is you handle it right now. Call Ryan.
Bruh.
Call Ryan. Call Ryan. Siri.
Calling Ryan's.
Is it under Pendry maybe, or was that an ad on that?
Good morning.
Call Ryan. What's wrong with her? Call Ryan.
Calling Ryan Seco. Mobile.
See these deals? These are deals I'm working on. Northwater I'm working on. Promenade, Meisner, Nema. Look at all these deals. I bet she's sleeping.
You have reached Ryan Seco with Grant
Sleeping.
Cardone.
You, and what do you do now? You call him right back.
Double tap.
Double tap. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is live happening right now. I'm working deals. I'm trying to get things happening. I made a comment yesterday. Nobody put it down there. If you're only going to do one deal, don't do this. Yo, Ryan, wake up.
What's that?
Money don't sleep, son.
No, it doesn't.
Damn, and it gets bored as F. Hey, why is bezel not on our sheet, bro?
Let me see.
Are you on the left side of the bed or the right side?
I was on the left side of the bed.
Yeah, you look like a lefty.
You look like a righty. Did you watch the fights last night?
No, I didn't watch the fights. Were they good?
They were okay.
Bro, why is bezel not on the sheet?
It's here somewhere. It just may not be on the front page. Let me see here.
Okay.
It should be, but because you know what? 'Cause it's on its own tab. Probably needs to be adjusted though.
What tabs? Oh, okay, thanks, bye. Okay, see, there's bezel right there. So my point is, these are real deals. You guys are getting access. What'd you call it, Jared?
Lifetime of learning for a one-time investment.
Yeah, you're making one investment for a lifetime of learning, and you get, more importantly, you get to see in real time the deals I'm working on, what I'm paying, how I'm structuring the deals, how I'm getting debt, what I'm paying for the interest rate, what I'm paying per unit, how much money I put down, who the connections are, the network. This has never been offered in America or anywhere in the world where you can in real time see what a guy with $5 billion worth of real estate is purchasing. Now, when I was talking to Robert on the phone this morning, he said to me in the middle of the call, hey man, I'm not on speaker, am I? Because the second part of that transaction on this other deal is confidential information because it's involving the courts now. And that's why he said, hey, look, I can't be talking about this other thing. So there's some deals I can't tell you about because they might be in the process of something confidential. What?
I just said, and Givens never knows if you're in front of a room or not.
Yeah, he never knows whether, he's like, this guy could be up. Okay, all right, so other review questions. I want to give you some other things that I walked away with yesterday. Get a legal pad, a blank legal pad. We reviewed yesterday 7 ways to get rich. You can inherit the money, probably not going to happen to you. Marry it, yeah, maybe, maybe not. Number 3, start a business, 95% failure rate. Number 4, buy a business, probably the best of the first 4, by the way. But you still got a problem. Who's the broker? Who's the seller? How am I going to do it? Now you got to know how to run a business, okay? Most people do not know how to run a business. Buying an apartment building is, by the way, number 4, okay? Number 5, investments. Making an investment in the S&P 500 or ETF, or you're going to buy some stock of some company. If you were smart enough to buy NVIDIA 26 years ago, for 23 years, you lost money. Money sat there dead, and then the last 3 years, the stock exploded, and you'd be the smartest, brightest, richest person that you know. But you didn't. If you'd have been Jeff Bezos' father, and Jeff said, put $250,000 into Amazon, Forced him into it, by the way. Do it, do it, do it. You'd be a billionaire today, but guess what? Jeff Bezos is not your son. Yeah, that's the way that would work. Okay, number 6, you could get lucky. You're lucky because you're here today. Congratulations. That's as far as your luck's going to go. You didn't bet on the, what horse won yesterday? You didn't bet on Sovereignty yesterday. And in 2022, you didn't get 81 to 1 odds because you bet on a horse that came up from 18th and won the Kentucky Derby. Number 7, you could do what the dumbest, lowest IQ, least connected, poorest students have invested in to make more millionaires than any other asset class, and that is number 7, invest simply in real estate. Keep it for long periods of time. The dumbest group of people, the lowest IQ people, the least connected people in the world have become the richest people because they simply invest long periods of time in real estate that goes up over long periods of time. Okay, the other thing we talked about is 8 reasons to buy real estate. Passive income, long-term appreciation. Look at all the benefits here. Tax benefits, leverage, equity buildup, okay? The property's value is going down and the property's value is going up. When I take a loan on this deal, right? Oops. When I take a loan, when I buy the deal, the price, everything goes so slow. No wonder I have so many problems in my life.
Don't ever slow down.
But it says, technology. We're so far from the metaverse, folks. No, Johnny. Oh, yeah. You think it's the key? No. See this price right here? The price is going to go up over time, and the debt is going to be paid down. So you're going to get this widening gap. You're going to get this widening gap between price and debt. That's what's called equity buildup. Okay, number 6, principal pay down. The principal is going to be paid down. If you own it long enough, it could be paid down to 0. Number 7, multiple exits. I could sell the asset. I could refinance the asset, put new debt on it, take money out. Beautiful way to score money, by the way. Did I even talk about that yesterday? I don't think so. I'm going to show you a deal today, okay? That's you paying attention, okay? No?
Technology. It's working.
It doesn't like speed. It does not like fast humans. You know, they're doing research with artificial intelligence right now, robots, and you roll the ball off the table, okay? The robot, when the ball rolls off the table and you can't see it anymore, the robot believes it is in another universe. So they're having to program the robot to say, no, it didn't disappear. You just walk around. Because a dog or a human or a baby would walk around and know it's not disappeared into another universe. But the robot, because they haven't been programmed, assumes that it has disappeared and would not move. So they have to program it to actually walk around the table rather than walk through the table. Because the robot could think, no, I'm just going to walk through the table. Okay, so you got to be programmed, right? And you're being programmed a bit on this real estate thing. I'm trying to reprogram you as to what you should be buying. Okay, so I have a price. Let's say the price was, it was $1 million when I bought it. It was $1 million when I bought it, and it was 8 units, and they were each $250,000. And then over time, I increased the rents on these. This is the price. The rent, I increased the rent over time by $1,000 a unit. So let's say the rent was at $3,000, really nice 8 units, Santa Monica, California, close to the ocean. You can open your windows in here, no air conditioning necessary. Freaking got a Starbucks, great restaurant, hotel next to it, just a perfect location. And they can't get rid of it. It's been there 30 or 40 years, okay? And everybody wants to live in it. When you live in it, you want to pay your rent because if evicted, you can never move back in it, and somebody's going to be in it instantly because it's so desirable. Okay, so watch. Price. Let's say you borrowed years ago. Okay, the debt. This is the debt is going to be paid down over time, and the price is going to continue to go up. Right. So you see this gap. The gap gets wider and wider. Now watch. As the rents went up, $1,000. Do the math with me. Grab your calculator, grab your phone. $1,000 times 8 times 12 divided by 0.05. The value of the property went up $1,220,000. So now the property is worth $1 million plus the increase $2,920,000. But let's say if I kept it long enough, the debt is now zero. Or it's lower, depending on how. I'm assuming this is 30 years and the loan was paid off, okay? This actually would not happen in the real world. I'll tell you why. Because you're probably going to be smart enough, particularly if I'm mentoring you, that I'm going to tell you, and I didn't know this early on, I'm going to take these numbers out here, okay? The bank's going to call you up and say, hey, before you pay it off, I mean, you're paid off right now, why don't we give you a loan for $2 million? The property will support it, okay? The rent income from the property will support it. You're earning $4,000 a month times, how many units was it? Times 12. You're earning $384,000 in income a year. The debt will be you're earning $384,000. You have about $80,000 in expenses. You make $304,000 in net operating income, and your debt is going to be on the $2 million is going to be $120,000. Okay, watch this. You're going to still make almost $200,000 a year. That's $18,000 a month. And we're going to give you a check for $2 million. And you still own the property, by the way. We're going to give you a check for $2 million. The property's worth $3,920 now. Is that what we said? $3 million. We're going to give you a loan. This is so brilliant. This is how you create real wealth. We're going to get you a loan for $2 million. It's paid off. We're going to write you a check for $2 million. You're going to have a loan for $2 million, okay? Your income is going to be $384. Your expenses are going to be $80. Your net operating income is $304. Your debt expense, your principal and interest is $120. You're still making $18,000 a month, $18,000 a month, and you're paying your interest payments on the loan, and we're going to give you a check for $2 million. The $2 million they give you is a non-taxable event. Boom, they're going to give you $2 million, and guess how much you get to keep? $2 million. Next month, you're going to have a check for $18,000. And this is how you're going to retire, folks. Okay? You're 72 years old. Bang, you got hit with $2 million because you owned an asset for the last 20 or 25 years. You just need time. Okay? You understand the widening. This is the equity buildup. Rather than selling the asset right now, if it's in a great location at the right time, in the right place, and you have the right, what's called a basis, you're not going to sell it. You're going to finance it. You're going to pull $2 million out, okay? You're going to have $18,000 a month. You're going to die next month. Next month you die. Guess what? You get to transfer this entire trust over to your grandkids. $2 million. Split up to 6 kids. You got 6 kids. Each one of them gets $3,000 a month from the rental property. Okay? And you take the $2 million and you give it to a charity, or you take the $2 million before you die and you say, hey, I'm going to go do this again. and I'm going to go buy an $8 million asset in the same neighborhood because Grant Cardone told me we're in the greatest correction that we've been in 25 years. You're going to take this $2 million that hasn't been taxed, and you're going to go buy an $8 million asset. You're going to finance $6 million, okay? And you're going to earn, check this out, you're going to earn on the $6 million, the $8 million asset, you're going to earn another $120,000 a year, $10,000 a month. So much going on. $10,000 a month plus the $18,000 a month your grandkids are earning. You're earning $28,000 a month. You're not sitting on any money. You don't want money, folks. Money's going down in value while the assets are going up in value. Okay, number 8. See the exits? I could have sold it. These are exits. Could have sold it, and I'd have made $3 million. And then you pay taxes. That's not the thing to do. The thing to do would be a second exit, which is put financing on it, grab your dough, and go buy another deal. I'm showing you guys how to create wealth right now, not how to get rich. Generational wealth. Okay? You're literally learning how to create generational wealth that has been created by thousands, okay, thousands of families in this country because they study. They don't study just how to make money.
Did you tell them about the exchange?
This is just so distracting.
I know.
Extremely. Like it's not benefiting me any. Just talk.
Yeah.
It's better just to fix something. Mine?
A mic issue.
Okay, let me have this. I'm tired of fooling with this. Okay, because it's just more distracting. Just it's better just to handle it and not have me put up with all this bullshit. Okay, go ahead.
What were you saying about the 1031 exchange in that last example? You can sell
Yeah.
it and still pay no tax.
Yeah, you could, but I don't advise it. Okay, now what Jared's talking about is what's called a 1031 exchange. Okay, a 1031 exchange where you would take, and if you guys could fix this problem so that I don't have to do this all day, that'd be great. You could take the $3 million asset that you owe no money on, by the way. Or you could have done it with debt. And Jared's saying you could have taken this and moved it to a $9 million asset. Please, 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 just go talk to her or y'all go outside, okay? It's killing me. I don't want to do it today, okay? You could take the $3 million in a 1031 exchange. You have 45 days to identify the product and then 6 months to exchange it. Now, the problem with this is you have to go sell this, identify in 45 days. If you're May 1, it'd be July 15th. July 15th, you have to say, bang, I'm buying this property. You got to send that into the IRS and say, this is the property, 2022 22nd Street. And you're forced to move that $3 million to this, let's say you're gonna go buy a $9 million asset and put $3 million down. Or you could buy a $3 million asset and not have any cash, but why would you do that? You should have just kept the thing you had. So you're gonna move up, okay? And then you're gonna get a $6 million loan. Now, you could have done that, but when you did that, you got rid of a great asset that's been taking care of you and your family for 30 years and will take care of you for another 30 years, and you basically got rid of a golden goose. I showed you a way. Jared's showing you how to slide it over and not pay taxes. I'm showing you how to slide it, keep the first property, get $2 million, not $3 million. You're going to get $2 million to buy the next property. And this way we scale. And I said this yesterday, if you're not going to scale the portfolio, folks, stay out of this game. Do not do this. I'm just giving you a heads up. If you're not going to get 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, leave this game to the professionals. Okay, just invest with me and be a passive investor. And let me go scale your money, because I'm going to do that too. I did one deal, second deal, 30 days later, a third deal, fourth deal, fifth deal, 49 deals, $5 billion worth of real estate. Scale your way to wealth, all right? Okay, we talked about, let's see, yesterday, reviews. We're doing reviews. 8 reasons to do this. Passive income, long-term appreciation, I just showed that to you. Tax benefits, just showed that to you. Leverage, just showed that to you. Equity, showed it to you. Principal pay down, showed it to you. Multiple exits, and an inflation hedge, okay? I'm not doing anything special here. If you talk to anybody that's ever invested in real estate in your neighborhood, you're going to hear them say, all I did was wait. They're not taking credit for the rents going from $1,000 to $3,000. They're not taking credit for the house going from $200,000 to $2 million. I have a neighbor in Malibu. Can you show the images of Malibu? Two houses down from me. They bought that house 45 years ago for $300,000. Okay, can you show the previous the before picture? Can you show the before 21808 PCH? 21808 PCH. You got to show the previous, the good pictures. So anyway, her mom has lived in that house for 45 years, whatever that date would be. It'd be 1980 something, right? 1980. And they paid $300,000 for a house in Malibu on the PCH. And, they were happy. She spent every day there. She's on the beach. It's called Billionaire's Beach. She had a little tiny house, maybe, I don't know, it's like 2,000 square feet. Super happy there. And January 7th, the fires, was it 7th? January 7th? Fires came, burnt the entire beach down. 17 houses next to me burnt down, every one of them. But she had an inflation hedge until she didn't. Okay? She didn't have it now. Okay? And they're going to show you the picture. Just show me the old picture now that we've kind of moved through the story. Yeah. See, there was the house. You can't quite see her house. You see my house. You see the house next to me. Let me see if that's right. Yeah. And then the tiny one right in the middle. That house was probably worth, I don't know, $4 or $5 million. Okay. She cannot take credit for the house becoming worth $5 million. She bought the house for $300,000. The only thing she can take credit for is making a decision to buy the house. She cannot say, I am the one that raised the price, because she didn't do anything. My point to everybody is this. When you buy real estate at the right location, in the right time. Now, unfortunately with her, she paid for it the whole time. Property taxes, maintenance, insurance, and now she's lost it. She didn't earn any income. Okay, you see this house right here, the big one? That house, what did Ringo Starr pay for that, to rent that house for 1 month? $3 million a year. That thing can earn $3 million a year in income. I paid $40 million for the house. Stupid. Terrible investment, by the way. Okay, but if I kept it rented every month, I would have paid for that house. You can't keep it rented every month. But if you did keep it rented every month, in 13 years, I would have paid for the house. Now, all this burnt down. Show them the burnt down pictures now, Johnny. When you buy a house, by the way, most people are like, I bought the house for $500, sold it for $1 million. Yeah, but what about your insurance? Did you keep that in mind? How about the property taxes? You see these people? Boom. Devastation, man. 17 homes in a row. That's only 4 of the houses. That's what it's going to look like now for years. Guess who's still standing? The guy giving you advice right now. What does that mean? Does that mean God loves me more than these people? No. It means God loves all of us, but I bought concrete and they bought timber. So not only do you want to buy the right asset at the right time in the right place, people are like, why do you want to be across from the fire department? That looks like a bad location. Looks like a great location now. In fact, I had a fire hydrant right in front of me. Damn, Malibu, there's 8,000 fires a year in California every year for the last 8,000 years. 8,000 fires every year. You might want to buy some concrete. Want to be in concrete because there's a thing called hurricanes in Florida. They've been coming around here for years. There's 1,500 hurricanes on planet Earth every year for the last 10,000 years, or since they've been collecting information on hurricanes. There's not more hurricanes. We were here in 2000. There was a period from 2005 to 2014. There was not any hurricanes, zero. It was like a scratch for like 5 or 6 or 7 years. So anybody tells you, oh my God, sea level's going up, that sea level's the same today as it was like 100 years ago. Don't worry about it. Get close to the ocean, folks. I'm telling you, water's a great thing. We talked about that yesterday. Okay, other takeaways. 8 reasons why that's funny. Okay. You just took up all my notes. Okay. 8 reasons why real estate works. Okay. Passive income, long-term appreciation. Oh, I did all that, right? Okay. You remember this? I gave you this graph yesterday. Okay. Apartments provide you with high yield, equity buildup, leverage, hard asset, tax advantage, multiple exits, and the red thing, no liquidity. I actually believe that is a good thing, that it doesn't have instant liquidity, because you just don't get blown out of something, okay? We talked about which of the asset classes: apartments, self-storage, mobile homes, retail, office, single-family homes, farmland, or empty lots. Which one was the best? Look, the most green lights. When you're trying to get to the hospital, if you get all green lights, or you're going to the airport and you get all green lights, or you're going to your girlfriend's house and you get all green lights. Bro, when you're getting green lights, everybody's like, shit, man, it must be my damn day, man. I'm getting all green lights. Okay, and that's what you're looking for when you're making investments. So why is real estate better than other classes? One, it protects your capital. You made an investment. Now, look, everything I'm telling you right now, you're going to use when you raise money with your investors. When I'm talking to an investor, okay, let's say I'm going to raise $1 million for a deal. And we're going to put it in a deal that's $4 million. Okay, we found 40 units. We can buy them for $100,000 a piece. I know it's a great deal. It's a great location. It's going to cash flow 7 or 8% a year. And I go to my investors and I'm like, we're going to raise $1 million. I already have a loan. By the way, I already have a loan for $3 million. You would have done that first. You found the deal first. You got the debt second. Then you start talking about equity. Hey, I need to raise $1 million. I already found the deal. You've already done your part, by the way. You wouldn't have to put any money on this deal. You did the biggest part. I found a $4 million. You going to put any money down? I found the deal, bro. Okay? I found the deal. Now, I got $25,000 I could put in the deal, and I will. But the point is, I found the deal. Okay? I found the deal, and I have it under contract, and I got a loan on the deal. What? I've already raised $3 million in the form of a loan. This is how you're going to pitch the deal. Okay, you're going to go to your brother, your uncle, your father. Maybe you're going to go to somebody that's connected to me and say, hey, I found this little beautiful deal, bro. And it's Grant's perfect deal. The location fits, the size is right, the math works. We're going to raise the rents. What do I need to raise the rents on this deal on 40 units? 200. If I raise them 200, we make another $1 million. Okay, remember that. I'll come back to it. But this is going to protect your capital. Okay, real estate protects capital. Hang on to it. Real estate protects capital. I'm going to put $1 million into this deal and get a $3 million loan. That money is always there. You can't run through the asset to hit the million. Okay, the market's not going to correct so terribly that you're going to run through the guy's capital. You understand? So when I raise the rents, by the way, all I got to do is raise the rents $200. You get your $1 million back first. You're talking to your investor. So many things happening. Hey, Ryan. Ryan.
GC, baby, what's going on?
Oh, you up now, huh?
Yeah, well, I'm actually heading over to Roberts right now.
Okay, bye.
Hey, where you?
I'm
about Bezel for a second?
Yeah, what about Bezel?
Well, I saw the agreement come through.
Yeah, exactly, bro. I've already talked to Robert. Okay, when you were sleeping, I was working. Money don't sleep, but it gets bored, bitch. Okay. If I raise the rents 200, what does that give me in new value? 1.4 million. Okay, I give this guy his $1 million back, and I tell them we're going to split this 50-50. I make $700,000, and I didn't have any money on the deal. All I did was find the deal. Do I have your full attention? So 1, it protects capital. 2, cash flow. 3, long-term appreciation. 4, I get tax write-offs. You're going to use all this with your investors. Number 5, leverage using good debt. Okay, benefits from inflation. Proven over time, easy to access, easy to scale. Number 10, and add one more, number 11, it's real. What's real mean? An address, 2222 22nd Street. Look at it, okay? So notice every time I show you guys a deal, I tell you about a deal I'm working. Is this going to get fixed? The lavs?
I don't think the lab is fixable right now.
Okay. Man, that's bizarre. What happened between?
We can try it, G, but
Yeah. Okay, watch this. You see this deal right here? Watch this. Maps. What am I talking about right now? It's real. It's real, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, watch. Let me show you how real it is. Can they see this?
yes.
Let me see. I want to get rid of this. Okay, when I say it's real, is that real enough? I'm not trying to sell them a startup. I'm not trying to get you to invest in some coding, some idea, an app. Bro, that's it. That's the asset. Can I steal it? Nobody can steal that. Okay, you can't put that in your pocket and go down the street. You can't back up a truck and grab it. It's not. It's a real asset, and that's why this asset class has raised more money than all the other startups from crowdfunding. Like when the crowdfunding rules came out where you, a private individual, could go raise money from other private individuals directly, okay, it was approved, and they thought it was going to be a bunch of money raised from startups. That's not where the money got raised from. I have personally raised $1.6 billion in cash from other people because I know how to find great assets. I know how to pitch that asset, meaning, look at the deal. Yeah, Grant, what about it? Man, that's beautiful, Grant. Notice the attention's off of me now, okay? Now, this information that I'm sharing with you right now is in the introduction course to buying apartments. You're limited in buying apartments to great assets, to access to debt, and number 3, to equity. This deal, the way this deal is going to work out, this is one of the deals that were mentioned this morning. Okay, this deal is going to be somewhere. This deal is going to be somewhere between 220 and 250. Pick the number. Million, billion, hundreds, thousand, it doesn't matter. 220 to 250. And it already has an approved loan for 170. Kind of similar to that other deal. All I got to do is come up with 80. Whatever the 80 is. But you understand, this is called your leverage, right? Better here than there. Okay, because I need less. I need about 50, 55 here to buy that. Okay, are you confused yet? Dude, don't be confused. You just got to find a great deal and then have people see the great deal and say next to it is a hotel and next to that are condos. Okay, like this is happening. This is happening. And most importantly and most excitingly, we're in a correction. Okay, when do you want to buy real estate? When do you really make your money in real estate? You make your best money in real estate when you buy it. And if you can steal it, the buy got even better, okay? Now, I want to bring you back to one other thing that I just briefly mentioned. How do you make $1 million profit? You have a legal pad, you're taking notes. This is not in your book if you're wondering where we are right now. And then I want to open to a few questions that I'm going to get back in the book, okay? $1 million profit. How hard would that be? I'm going to bring you out of these big giant deals and bring you back to probably what you're going to be looking at when you leave here today. And whether you decide to leave and do it by yourself or do it with us, that's up to you. That's on you. We're happy to help you. We want to help you. My team's here to help you. I have a big educational team, a bunch of coaches here that can help you, support you. We meet every week. But if you want to go it alone, man, I'm pulling for you too. This is what you're looking for. 4 units where you can raise the rents $1,250. You keep it occupied at 100%. If you want to start small, some of you want to start small and you're like, man, I just can't. I can't think about this other thing yet. No problem, okay? Keep it occupied 100%. Raise the rents $1,250. Do that every month. Look for a 6 cap, and you made $1 million. Okay, 4 units. The rents are $1,000. They should be $2,250, and you know they should be $2,250. You're going to move. You're going to buy the real estate. You could buy this real estate, by the way, for 5% down. You're going to move into the real estate, and you're going to look around and say, okay, we got to start raising these rents. Okay. Now the smart thing to do would that be to have somebody that's willing to pay $2,250 move into the first unit. Well, where am I going to find that person? Could be you. Okay. Look, eat your own dog food. So I would go in and say, hey, I'm the first tenant. Let's say that unit number 1, their lease is up, and you're going to create a new lease for yourself. Grant Cardone, June 1, $2,250 a month for 14 months. You're going to create a lease. The lease package is in our resource book, by the way, so you'll create the legal lease. Thanks.
So basically, what he's am I on?
That's very
Am I on?
beneficial.
Yeah. So basically, what he's talking about right now is you're setting the new market rent for the property by establishing the first renter at that lease price. So when the next person comes, you say, hey, I just leased my last unit out for $2,250 a month, and that's what the rate is for new people moving into the property. So that's
And then if you want another little hack, while you're moving into it, by the way, you moved into it because the other guy was leaving anyway. Okay, Robert moved out. I moved in. I said, guys, I'm paying $2,250 a month. I mean, are you living there? You're probably going to be fixing it up. This is what you're really going to do. While you're moving in, you're actually doing work and you're staying wherever you were staying anyway. Okay, you're making an investment of time and money into this asset. You're going to be fixing the backsplashes. You're going to take the formica off the thing. You're going to paint the place. You're going to improve the place, and you're going to be like, oh, by the way, the rent after 1 month after you fix it is $3,250, not $2,250. And the other units, unit number 2, number 3, and number 4, are going to see what unit number 1 looks like, and that you moved into it, and your rents are now $3,250 a month because of the upgrades. They're $2,250 without the upgrades, and they're $3,250 with the upgrades. So you're going to have a lease. You're going to cancel that lease on yourself and give yourself another lease. And you're going to be able to show the guy, hey, this is the lease on this new deal. It's $3,250 a month. This is a hack. Okay, it's freaking brilliant. Or maybe you do this. Hey, it's only $2,750 because you own the place, so you gave yourself a deal. Okay, you're going to go to these people that are $1,250, and they're going to be like, I want the backsplash, I want the new slab, I want the new appliances, I want the new wood floors. Oh, really? Great. Rewrite the lease. Okay, and now these leases become $2,250, $2,350. This one's the biggest one, $2,700. You just created a new rent roll, and then you go rent this unit to somebody else. Now you have 4 people paying another whatever $1,000, $1,250 a month. You just made $1 million. As fast as you can do this, you can make money, and then we're going to open up the questions. So watch what happens. Let's say I paid. Dude, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? I must have so much
fast,
energy inside
you
of
move
me.
fast, bro.
Huh?
You got vibrations.
I'm telling you, dude, I think I have some like bad vortexes around me or something, okay? Let's say this deal was, when I bought it, let's say it was 4 units. Let's say, what did I say it was going to be? It was going to be
4 units at a rent increase of $1,250 a month.
Look, if it's in a decent neighborhood, it's going to cost you something, right? So nobody's going to give their asset away. It's a good asset. So let's say the asset was $600,000. If I did the exact math that I just gave you, this asset is now worth $1,600,000. I would go get a loan on this asset. This deal, based on the numbers I just gave you, would allow you, let's say you paid cash for this, or let's say you put 150 down. No, you put $30,000 down, and you finance 570. Okay, you have a loan, 570,000. You put $30,000 down. You don't need an investor. I mean, maybe you do. You just borrow 30 grand from your mom or steal it from her. Okay, find somebody who's got 30 grand in their house. Johnny's got 30 grand. Just go freaking whack Johnny. Okay, so watch. I have a loan for 570. I'm going to go to the bank because of the new rent roll, 4 units at $22.50 a month. We'll support a new rent roll. I gave you guys a hack. You don't need to do all the math. I just showed you we increased the value of the property $1 million. That can't be that easy. Actually, it is that easy. You're just not looking. Making $1 million at your job is not that easy. In fact, it's impossible. Okay? You're going to go to the lender and you're going to be like, I'd like to take a loan for $1,250,000. Okay? I want basically a 70% loan and a 125 DCR. This is terminology you'll learn later. Don't worry about it right now. You don't need to know it. Do you lend to a 125 on a 65 to 70% loan? Yes, we do. What's 1250 divided into 1,600?
0.78.
Okay, so I might want to take this down to $1,050,000. What's 1050 into 1,600?
65.
Boom, that's where you want to be. You want to be a 65 and a 125. 65% loan to value. You're going to go to the bank and say, do you do a 65% loan to value with a 125 cover? Okay, it's just terminology you need to use with a bank. If you use this terminology with the bank, they're going to be like, oh shit, God knows what he's talking about.
This is all in the dictionary.
This is all in the dictionary. You have all the data. It's in the apartment buying books, okay? You're getting hit with it right now. Might be too much, but at some point I got to hit you with it. The bank's going to be like, knows what he's doing. Sounds like a professional. And they'll quit asking you bullshit questions, okay? Now watch what they're going to do. We owe $57,000. No, we owe $570,000. I'm going to get a check back for $600,000. I'm going to pay back the $570,000. Everybody with me? I have $30,000 left over. I'm going to give it back to my grandmother that I stole it from. How much do I own the property for? I own a $1,600,000 asset with no money. You guys want to learn this now? Okay, Q&A. Bring some people up.
Edward,
Thanks for fixing that mic, Johnny. Guys, thanks for fixing it. It wasn't this, it was that, right? It was something else?
Yeah, it was an antenna.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Edward Rubenstein. Edward Rubenstein, you're up.
Oh, Edward. The old Edward Rubenstein.
Go ahead and unmute. You got to unmute first. There you go. There you go. You're good.
All right.
Can we get some
Hey.
volume on Edward?
I'm sorry?
Yeah,
Can
go
you
ahead,
hear me?
Edward. You're good.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, the mic still is cutting out a little bit. So I don't know what you got. I don't know. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, thanks, Edward. I appreciate that. Is it bad right now?
It goes in and out. You know, even with a new mic you put on,
Okay.
it's still going in and out. Be that as it may, that's not why I raised my hand.
Thank you.
I got two questions. The first question is, you said in your list of ways to make money, you said you could buy a business, but now when you invest in this, by the way, I am brand new. I mean, when you said you can buy a business, and you said, but that's not what you want to do. But what are you doing when you're investing in this? What's the difference? I don't understand that.
Because you're buying a business that already has income. There's no product to develop, no inventory to develop. The inventory basically are the 4 units.
Yeah, but you
Let's say
own
you're
it,
going to go buy. Let's say you're going to go buy a laundromat.
right?
I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, the washers and dryers are still there. The coin collectors are still there. The facility, that's why I like buying a business, because it's all there. Probably already have a manager in the place. With an apartment deal, you're not having them really, I mean, you have to manage the business. Yeah, you have to pay attention to it. But once you get it rolling, dude, it's not that difficult.
Okay.
It's just an easier business than most businesses.
All right. Now, my second question, which is really my main question,
Raise it up
is,
a little bit.
like the gentleman yesterday. I'm 75.
Yeah.
I'll be I'll be 76 in a couple months. I don't have a lot of time left. I know that. Now I'm going to live to 95 probably because
Well,
of
then
my.
you do have a lot of time left. Then if you're going to live to 95, make up your mind.
Well,
You got 20 years, bro. You got 20 years. How much money do you have right now?
I've got roughly 100,000 plus, but it's all in. It's 95% in crypto. And
Okay.
95% of that is in Bitcoin. Now, I expect Bitcoin to hit $500,000
Good.
in the next 5, maybe 10 years, but probably closer to 5. Now, my question is, I don't even know how to phrase this.
Yeah.
Investing with you all, buying your course, is that a realistic? I know you have a prejudice for it, but is that a realistic way of using some of the money that I've got, knowing that, Bitcoin could go to zero, but it's probably not going to go
No,
to zero.
I don't think it's going to zero.
I don't think it's going to zero either.
It's
I don't know when it's
97,000.
going to hit 5, but I know it's going to hit 5.
Yeah, whatever. It's 96,000 or something like that today. Like, if it goes to 80,000 or 70,000 or 60,000, at some point, if it goes to $1, somebody's going to buy all of it.
Yeah.
And then it's going to
Sure.
start moving the other way. The problem with the coin, okay, is it's 75 years old. Do you have any income?
Yeah, not a great income. It's 30, 40 a year.
Yeah, okay. So the problem with the Bitcoin is that you don't have income from it.
Right.
And do you own your own home?
No, I rent.
Okay, good. So you could take would I take 5% of this money to learn what I'm telling you right now? 100,000%. And let me tell you why. Okay, Edward, I would do it because if you find the right deal, you could have other people invest in the deal. You manage the deal, and you pull 50% of the profits out. You cannot do that with Bitcoin. Nobody's going to fund your Bitcoin account. Other people will fund your real estate account. I have raised $1,600,000,000 in real estate. Okay, I have never borrowed a penny to buy somebody's Bitcoin, and no one has, by the way.
Right.
So all I'm saying to you is, would I spend 5,000 if I were you, and you're serious about this, and you see what I see? If you see what I see,
I'm seeing it.
you're clearly into real assets. You're into appreciation. You understand the inflation problem. Otherwise, you wouldn't own any Bitcoin. I would absolutely 1,000% take $5,000, place a bet on this. If you're serious about learning it, that's on you, not on me. I can't. You're the only one that can make that decision. And I would dig into this material and let us help you find your first deal. I gave you the math. Here's the math.
The math. I've never seen math like this in my life.
Yeah.
It's great, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can't punch a hole in the math. The math is the math. People lie. I have a bias. I'll tell you right now. I have a bias. I want you to do this. But so I do have a bias. Numbers don't have bias.
Right.
There is no bias in a number. The number is the number. 4 units times 1250, if they can go up, is how much money is that? $5,000
Sounds about right.
times 12 is 60,000. On any calculator, divided by 0.06
Again, at 90% occupancy, it's
equals $1 million. It's 4 units in the right location. It's going to be occupied every day. Okay, you make $1 million in that. Hey, Grant, I'm going to do this deal. Grant, I don't have the money for it. You're going to tell people I don't have the money. All my money's tied up in Bitcoin. Okay. Somebody might say, well, then why don't you get rid of some of that to do this deal? By the way, you might want to, if you could pick up $1 million.
Right. Right. Because even if I sell 10% of my Bitcoin, I think it's going to come back and more than double what I'm at right now.
And it's going to create income for you. And it's got another stream.
Yeah. One thing, at some point, you need to tell us about what a cap rate is and how you get it.
Yeah. So a cap rate, that's a great question. A cap rate This is 6% or 0.06. The cap rate is basically if you pay cash for an asset. If you pay $400,000 for an asset and you paid cash for it at a 6, it would earn $24,000 a year, which is the minimum amount of money that I want to make per month.
Okay.
It's the minimum amount of money that I would target a deal for. Like I want to find a deal that makes me $1 million, one score, and I need $2,000 a month in cash flow because that would give you another 67% increase in the $3,000 you're making now. It would take you to $5,000 a month and start giving you some freedom to manage the asset and to pay attention to it. If this only paid him $200 a month, he's not paying attention. Pays you $2,000, you're like, wait a minute, I'm paying attention to $2,000. Okay, you understand the cap rate? The cap rate is if you paid cash for the asset, your return after all expenses, utilities, electric, insurance, taxes, collections, evictions, blah, blah, boom, 6% falls as cash flow.
Yeah, I think I got it.
Got it?
It's starting to sink in. It's a lot of information you're giving us. I mean, it's great.
That's why we made this program, the mentoring program, a lifetime program, so that you can spend the next 12 months really digging into it. If you need more time than that, we're giving you more time. But you can't figure out how to build a building from the ground up in 8 hours. You have to like sit in it. You have to look at stuff. You have to call brokers. You have to underwrite deals. Like there's a lot of activity that goes into learning this stuff.
But it's not impossible.
By doing.
This is a finite number of things to learn. This is not coding. This is not learning AI. This is like, well, real estate. It's only been there for, that piece of real estate's been there for 50 years. And somebody's owned it for 50 years making money. So, go back to that deal, that big giant deal on the screen right here on my computer. See that deal right there? That guy spent 18 years on that project. He had dinner with me at my house the other day. 18 years he spent in this project. And guess what? He's going to lose the project. 18 years, and he's going to lose it because he tried to do too much at one time. Next to it, you see this? That's a hotel right there. You can tell it's not under construction right now. And these are 88 condos over here to the right. He tried to do too much, and a golf course, by the way. See the golf course? He tried to do too much. See, he doesn't have $170 million worth of debt on this. He has $1.1 billion worth of debt on everything. And the institution that gave him the loan is called the debt. And the first thing to fall is that property right there. And I'm going to go grab those. Now, that's the other thing, Edward. At this point, you would be like, dude, why wouldn't I just throw my money in that deal with you? Well, you could, but you'd still want to be educated about what I'm doing so you feel better about the investment.
Right.
Just like Michael Saylor says, spend 100 hours on Bitcoin before you buy any. So you understand what you're doing, and then you're like, oh, I understand why this thing has the potential to go to the moon.
Joanne's next.
Okay? But you guys should not be betting on, you guys should not be gambling. You guys that have a couple $100,000, you guys should not be gambling with your money, man. You want to make a big bet on something that you know is going to take care of you. And Edward could live till he's 105. His body may last longer than his eyes and his ears. Certainly going to last longer than some other parts of his body.
Let's go to Joanna next. Joanne.
It's me. Hi. Ciao, Grant.
Ciao.
I'm Pucci from Clearwater.
Hey, ciao, Bella.
Ciao. So I've been in real estate and property management for 16 years. 16 years. I own my own
16.
company and yes.
Yeah. How much real estate do you own?
My house and my mom's house.
Good. So she's been managing what she should have been buying.
Correct. So I did a lot with my time and money over the years, with helping and my church. But now it's been a while that I was like, okay, it's time that I, invest. And then I started putting a little bit of money aside. And now I'm looking at, obviously I went on looking at just to browse what was available. And I know that you don't like that side, but so there's a building that I know really, really well. I have no problem in managing, obviously, rentals. I've been pretty successful in that. There's like 33 units, or I can look at something that is 4 units that I could do on my own,
Yeah.
or 60 or 33
Yeah.
with somebody.
Yeah.
You're actually perfectly set up, Joanne, to bring investors into a deal because you have management experience. Like
Totally.
your pitch,
Totally.
because investors don't want to manage deals. Like investors want their money to work for them, and you have the perfect setup to go out and raise money from investors.
Managers don't want to manage deals.
Yeah. If you understand how to present the deal the right way, which is what you can spend the next year or 2 or 3 or 4 years in our mentoring program learning how to do.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yep.
one thing there's this building. One of the things that I wanted to see, could you tell me that you think that if overpriced, or it would be on 33 units, makes sense? 'Cause-
Okay. All right. 33 units. I'll do it real fast. Watch how fast this goes once you know what to look for. You have 33 units.
Says that the cap is 5.92%.
6% cap.
6.3 million.
$6.3 million, so that it earns 180. It earns $209,000 a year in NOI.
Yeah, it's a very nice location, right? on the
Yeah,
Pinellas
that's
Trail.
great. But Jared, is that right?
Yeah.
209 divided by a 6 cap. She said it was a 5.93 cap, so I rounded up. Keep it simple. No, that's not.
378.
378, yeah, 378. 378. Okay. It's a 378 cap. Okay, so go on. Tell me about the rest of your deal.
Yeah, well, that's honestly, unfortunately, that's all I know. I mean, I've seen the units before. There is a pool. They're nicely capped and updated. They're 1-1 or 2-1.
Yeah, where's it located?
Clearwater, 2 miles between Clearwater and Dunedin, Pinellas Trail. Nice building, nicely capped.
Yeah.
I know I can definitely. I know that.
And what are the rents?
I think it's 1,400 to 16.
Okay, well, the $1,400 rents, you're not raising those rents. You're in Clearwater, Florida. The rents aren't
Right.
going to like
2,500.
They're not going to 2,500. They're not going to 1,800, because the moment they go to 1,800, they're going to go move and buy a brand new place. They're going to go on Bayview and live on the ocean in one of those, the lake there, whatever that's called, and live in a brand new facility. You know
Right.
that. So you're already
Yes.
capped out on the rents. These people are trying to gouge somebody, and they're going to suggest that the rents can go up. The rents cannot go up in that market above 1,400. They could go down before they go up. You got a lot of supply coming in your market, as you know.
Yeah.
See, she knows everything that I'm saying right now, she agrees with. Now, what price is this a good deal at? This is a good cash flow deal, but it's not a good upside deal. And I haven't even seen it. I just know this. If it was 33 units, it was built probably in 1980, 1985. When was it built? Maybe 1990, maybe.
I don't remember.
I'll bet you it's stick, not concrete. What's the address?
1142 Sunset Point Road, Clearwater.
I mean, that's cool. That's cool if it's on Sunset Point. Okay, now I could start changing my mind about some of this.
So I just pulled up the
But
10X deal
this
finder.
is what I had an image of. See, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, you can almost, because of its size, once you start doing this, imagine what it is. It's kind of like a motel, okay?
Right.
1973.
It was 1973. I had it in 1983, so I'm 10 years late. It's a motel. It could be built out of concrete. It's going to have 8-foot ceilings. It's going to have a ceiling about right here. It can never have a 9-foot ceiling, okay? And if those rents are $1,400, and they could be, It'll be get great cash flow compared to what you can earn at the bank, but it's not going to be big upside.
Right.
You're going to have insurance problems there. You're going to have rent increase problems there. You could have collection problems there. You know everything I'm talking about right now.
Yeah.
So to me, that's not a deal.
Right.
In
Okay.
2022, it was sold for $5,050,000.
So somebody paid $5.5 million in 2022, and their loan's probably due. 3, 4, 5, boom, 3 years. 3 years. They probably did an adjustable loan. 3 years. They were going to fix the property, raise the rents. Their loan's due right now, and their loan today, back here it was at 3%. Now it's 7%, and they're like, I can't get a $5 million
Right.
loan. Okay, you guys understand? You have to understand this data, and I'm gonna go back to the gentleman before that was, gonna die when he's 95. Okay, so this deal right here, this guy, he's gonna go get a loan today. What did he pay, Jared? He's got a loan for how much?
Well, the purchase price was $5,050,000 on a $3.9 million loan.
He's got a $4 million loan at 7%. His debt is $280,000. Watch this. The NOI is $378, so he's making $92,000 a year. Let me see, 92,000. Does he cover? Does he even cover? He's got a $3.9 million loan.
Yeah.
Okay, his loan's due. Let me just see, 3.9. No, 280. You said the NOI was 378. This number right here.
No, we just assumed that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now he's going to get a loan. We assume that.
Yeah.
based on the.
What's the NOI?
I don't, as I said, I don't know how many are 2 bedrooms. which
Okay,
are
well, no, that's fine.
60.
1,400. How many units here? 33 times 33 times 12 times 0.90 equals. The most money they can be collecting there is about 500,000 times point. It's Florida, man. It's so the property taxes are high. The insurance is going to be high. So I'm going to give you
40, 50, 40, 40.
60 maybe. The most income you can have is $299. Okay, this is the most NOI you could have on this deal, and the debt's $280. These people are going to make $19,000. Bro, it don't work. This is what they're doing. They're choking out. Okay,
6.6% interest rate on the loan,
yeah, I have 7%.
and it looks like May 1st of 25 was the maturity date.
Maturity date's
One of
right
their
now.
loans, yeah.
Maturity date's right now. This is a perfect deal. This is going to be stolen. You're going to steal it. You're going to rip them off. You're going to basically buy it for less than they paid for it and get all the value add free. Now it's a deal. Okay, but I need to buy this deal for I want to pay on this deal, I want to pay $5 million.
Yeah, that's what they bought it for, and they probably put money into it.
Oh yeah, 100% they
Yeah.
put money into it.
Yeah.
They might have a second loan.
They got
on
a
it.
bunch of stack loans on here, so it looks like
They might have multiple loans on this thing. So they're choking out and they're ready to go because there's no place for the rents to go. If the rents can't go up, they're looking at it saying, we can't raise the rents anymore. We're already having backlash from our tenants because you got new product coming on, okay? You know that deal on, what's that main street in Clearwater?
19?
When you're coming in,
The Bay?
the Bayview deal. You know the Bayview apartment deals? I think it's called Bayview Apartments, Clearwater. Maybe it's not Bayview. Yeah, the Bayview apartment. These are brand new, okay? These deals right now. Look at these. Look at this. I've been looking at this deal. See, again, this is the value of you guys having me as your mentor because I know her market. I'm in it. So those rents right there are $1,700. So the moment you try to move from $1,400, you try to move 1 penny, they're like, bro, I'm out of here. This is Clearwater. I'm going to go live in a new property that's that's better views, better location, newer, amenities, swimming pool, a real swimming pool, not one of those inflatable you got at your place. Okay? I have no crime here, no bullshit, great parking, my car's safe. I got a movie theater, I got new technology, smart, I got a 10-foot ceiling, not an 8-foot ceiling. Blah, blah, and blah.
And that doesn't mean the deal you're looking at is a bad deal,
No,
just
it
a
means-
bad deal at the price they're trying to sell it at.
It's a great deal when you're correcting and you're going to slaughter this guy.
There was a question in the chat, how can you buy it for less than?
And Joanne, this is a time for you to take advantage of all the people that have been taking advantage of you.
Because they're in trouble.
These people have been hiring you, and now you could literally flip the whole model on them. So how do you buy it for less than they buy it? Because this thing's going to end up in a bank problem.
Yeah.
These people have no place to go. How do I know that? Because I know the math, okay? The math will not support the debt. And these guys are saying, hey, we're tapped out. Now, they're not going to admit they're tapped out, so the phone call is going to go like this. And then I got to get into the content here, but the call is going to go like this. Is there a listing broker on this? This is called the deal sequence, by the way. If you see the screen right now, look at my screen. Find the deal. She found the deal. We're going to underwrite it. I just did. I know what I need to pay right now. Now, the third thing I'm going to do, I'm going to write an LOI. That we're missing something there, guys.
Contact the broker.
Contact the broker right there. Should be on there. Contact the broker, write the LOI. Okay? So, I mean, I could write an LOI right now. Hey, I'm a $5 million buyer at this deal. Oh, yeah, you're freaking out. You need to, there's probably a listing broker on the deal. Am I right, Joanne?
Yeah, right now the listing that disappeared from my list. I don't know what's happening.
Well, if it's not listed, it's not for sale. So,
No, it was.
Okay.
I just looked at since yesterday. Grant, do you know the Apex building?
the what?
The Apex building?
Yeah, the one that finally got finished after.
Yeah.
17,000.
The one that is on Cleveland.
Yeah.
134 units. That is not listed with a price, but.
You're moving to another deal now, right?
Yeah. I was looking at because this one I was curious because I know the building really well, and I said I know I can manage it. I mean, I can manage anything after all these years, but yeah. Okay, but I appreciate it. Your help. I got
So
it.
anyway, you got to contact the broker. There should be a broker on this deal. You want a broker. You want to talk to a middleman and say, hey, look, hey, what's the deal on this deal? Like, why are they selling right now? Okay, you guys want to write this down. Why are you selling this asset? I noticed that they bought it just 3 years ago. Well, this was their business plan. That's what they're going to say. Yeah. But why now? The market is terrible. If you guys are watching this, remember what I'm telling you right now. Pay attention, okay? The market is terrible. No, it's not. Bruh, what market are you in? This is terrible. It's awful. Sales are off 80%. Now, if the guy says it's not, he's either a liar or he's ignorant, and you'd rather deal with a liar. Because if he doesn't know the market's terrible, like he's clueless, which could be good for you, but the market is terrible to be a seller. It is a great time to be a buyer. And every professional broker in the country, if you're real deal, knows it's a terrible time to be a seller. Okay, all right. Find the deal. You guys want to take a little picture of this? That should have Cardone Capital on it. Grant Cardone. We got to watermark that. Okay. Find the deal. Underwrite the deal. Write the LOI. Debt quote. Get a debt quote. Don't worry about that until you get all these other things done. Raise equity. Don't worry about that until you get the other things done. Close the deal. You ain't going to close the deal. Don't worry about closing the deal. How to close the deal. The LLC. Don't worry about anything until you get to it. Right? Don't worry about anything until you get to the anything, which, by the way, might not ever be anything. Most of the things you guys are scared of never show up. All right. Where do you find $1 million deals? You were on page
29 in your workbook.
29 in the workbook.
29 in your workbook. Where you live. Perfect example, the young lady that just came up, she's finding deals in her neighborhood. You should not be looking at deals 3,000 miles away. 2, third-party resources, LoopNet, CoStar, brokers, Crexy, or the 10X Deal Finder. That 10X Deal Finder is going to give you intel that Jared's pulling up
that's going to help you find the urgency. Like that's the, like you can literally go in there and search a filter that just says, show me every property that has loans maturing and it was purchased in the last 3 to 5 years, which means that they probably put short-term debt on it. The property probably performed at the old interest rate, but when they go to refinance the loan, they're gonna have to sign at a higher rate, and that's probably gonna push the property into negative cash flow, which means they either got to put more money into the deal or they got to give the deal back to the bank.
3, watch for sold properties. Sold properties are your friends, okay? 4, local city and county records. You guys keep me amped up, man. These guys put some caffeine in me, okay? A lot. Number 5, deals under contract. I'm like that horse. They just keep hitting him.
Sovereignty.
Deals under contract. Look for deals under contract. Okay, I think 60 or 70% of these deals are falling out of contract. Number 7. Oh, by the way, 2 of the deals I showed you this morning that I'm working on have been under contract and fell out for 2 years. Those are the deals you're dragging. Like, this is work, folks, but it's easy. I mean, if you hook one deal, you hook one right deal, it could change your life forever. 6, expired listings. 7, merchant builders. Remember that deal I showed you a few minutes ago? That brand new deal? That's a merchant builder. They built it to sell it. Number 9, clubs. Mentoring clubs. Clubs like the opportunity we offer you to join us. You're going to be hearing about deals. Did I not just hear about a deal like 3 minutes ago? What was the lady's name?
Joanne.
Yeah, Joanne showed us a deal. When she's showing me a deal, we're also learning about the market. Oh, this guy spent some money. He's got $6 million in it. This is how much a unit, $180 a unit. I'm getting data about what things are worth, $180 a unit. He fixed them up, so he's probably got $200,000 a unit in it. Oh, he went and got a loan. He bought them at the wrong time, and now he's going to lose them. Oopsie daisy. First deal I ever bought. I think I said this yesterday. First deal I ever bought, 48 units. The guy paid $5,100,000 to build them. I bought it for $1,950,000. I knew the day I bought it that there was $2.1 million to be made, $3.1 million to be made if I simply got back to the cost to rebuild. This is called replacement cost, or under replacement cost in this case. What's replacement cost? Now, is he an idiot? No, he wasn't an idiot. Did he build a terrible asset? No. Was it a bad location? No. He bought it he did it at the wrong time, and nobody could predict that. Okay, look for external pressure. This is the urgency that you're looking for. I said yesterday, you need a qualified seller, a decision maker, and 3, you need urgency to sell. If there's no urgency to sell, you could have the first 2, not the third one. You don't have a seller. Okay, finding deals. Let's go look for some deals, all right? I'm gonna show you some deals right now and answer some questions that came out of that Q&A, okay? For instance, somebody asked me, I'm in Miami today, so I'm just pulling up Miami. I could pull up any city. Somebody asked me, they said, what cap rate, I think it was the gentleman, what cap rate should I expect? Well, when I'm looking on this garbage dump called LoopNet, owned by another garbage called CoStar, which charges $5,000, I'm sorry, yeah, they would be $5,000 to $12,000 a year for this same service. The cap rates in Lenox Beach Apartments is 1.38. The next deal on Lenox, 1.44. Fort Lauderdale, 2.04. Miami, 2.58 for 2 units. 4% for 17 units. That's in Coral Gables, very exclusive neighborhood. Here's another 4 cap in Coral Gables. Bay Harbor Island, 4 cap. A Miami Shores, 4.15 cap, old product. 694 Northeast 76th Street, 4.5. Now I'm gonna go to Houston, Texas. Where do you find deals? I'm showing you where to find deals. Sort by, I'm gonna sort by cap rate. I'm gonna go low to high. Okay, here's the deal, 3.61. Y'all see what I'm looking at? Can they see it, or I need to make it bigger, a little bigger? Let me make it a little bigger. Okay, there's a 3.61 cap. That will never be sold. That should be like a 6.61. The higher the cap rate, the lower the price. The lower the cap rate, the higher the price, right? They do this. They're inverted on one another. Lower the cap rate, higher the price. Higher the cap rate, the higher the return, the lower the price you have to pay. Here's a deal at 5 cap, they won't sell that one. Here's a deal at a 5 cap, won't sell that one. Here's a deal at a 5.24 cap, maybe. Here's a deal at a 5.3 cap, 5.37. Now notice, I went from Miami, they were 2s and 3s. I moved to Houston, all of a sudden they were 4s, 5s, 6s. Right? They went up as I moved to a different market. 5.4, 5.4, 5.6, 5.7. Why is this important? Okay, see this junk that we're looking at right here? Look at this. Let me just show you. Look at this. You see this? No offense. That's a 5 cap, 5.3. I'm gonna show you something. I'm getting you ready. See this? This is beautiful. Nice little beautiful deal. 3 units. There's no swimming pool here. This is just rehab. There's no swimming pool, no amenities, no, right? Watch. Let me go back to this deal I was showing you earlier. See that deal right there? That's going to be a 5.5 cap. What deal would you rather be in? Let's see, that deal right there? That's going to be a 5+ cap. Would you rather be in this beautiful investment that's brand new with nothing to do to it at 5? Or would you rather be in Houston at a 5? I don't know. It depends on where you are. It depends on what your game plan is. It depends on what the business plan is.
The other thing too, G, is a lot of people when they are thinking about, let's just say they became a part of our mentoring group and they found a group of investors and they were raising money for a deal. A lot of times I think people think that because you own the deal 100% on your own, that somehow changes the rate of return on the money.
Yeah.
Like if you bought your own deal at a 6 cap, your return's going to be 6%. If you invested in a deal with 100 other investors and you put $100,000 into a $25 million raise, your return's still going to be the same 6%.
That's right.
The return on the money is always the return on the money, regardless of if you have your own deal and you're responsible for all of it, or if you're invested in a deal like Grant's and there's a bunch of other investors in it.
You could own 1/100th of 1% and your return's exactly the same as the guy that owns 80%. Okay? Now, I'm going to go to Indiana. Miami, Houston, and then I went north up into Indiana. Here's a nice little asset, 6.98%, 8 units. Somebody ought to go buy this today. You're in Indiana, you're there, you already know this market, you're in Indianapolis, sorry, or is this a build out? I didn't like that one picture I saw. I mean, this looks awesome, dude. What is that? Why is
Built in 2026.
Oh.
It's not done yet.
That's, you see, it's a jerky job.
LoopNet.
Come on.
LoopNet for you.
Okay, it's a come on, okay? Here's a deal, 6.5 cap, 10.56 cap. That means if you paid cash for this deal, 4 units, okay, this deal is $656,000. You could buy this with $30,000 down, and you could buy this with 30 grand down, and you will make about 13% on your money on that deal right there. Now, where do you find deals? This section is about where to find deals. I'm finding you deals right now. In the last 20 minutes, I found you, I don't know, we just looked at 30 different deals. Different cap rates. From some of these are 1% cap rates to 11% cap rates. So don't tell me there's no deals out there, man. You sound so dumb, okay? Okay, now, what are you gonna do next? Once you find a deal, before you call a broker, you're gonna underwrite that deal. Okay, you're gonna find a deal, you're gonna contact somebody and start talking about it. While you're doing that, you're gonna underwrite. I'm gonna show you the underwriting here. You wanna write this down, should be in your book on page 39. Number of units times the actual rent. This is not to be confused with the formula I showed you yesterday. Number of units times the actual rent times 12 months times other income. We're adding a layer now. times the occupancy, depends on where you are, depends on the occupancy. I'm using 90% right now on this example, but it doesn't mean yours is 90. Okay, make another note here. Never trust your broker on this occupancy. Most of them are going to tell you it's 95. If it's in Houston, Texas, it is not 95 ever. It's probably going to be 88 or lower. I have a deal right now, it's 82. So very few of these deals do you see 82. You see 95, 94, 93. Most of them are even numbers. They're never even. If it's 4 units, it's never going to be 90, 95, or 85. It's going to be 100%, 75%, 50%, or 25%. There's only 4 choices if there's 4 units. If there's 8 units, there's probably maybe 7 choices of what it can be. You understand? What's 7? If 7 of the 8 are occupied, what would it be automatically? If it's 8 units.
87.5.
If it's 8 units, it's going to go from 100 to 87.5. If it's 6 out of 8, it's going to go 187.
75.
Huh?
75.
75. And if it's 5 out of 8,
6.62.5.
it's going to go 62.5. Okay? So notice you can lose, if you have 8 units, you lose 3 people all in the same month. Maybe there was a shooting. Okay, maybe there was a terrorist attack. Maybe there was a bed bug. You're like, wow, does that shit happen? All those things have happened to me. Terrorists, shootings. I had some properties in Tucson, Arizona, and my manager called me one morning, Dale, and said, hey, Grant, we got a problem. I said, bro, we ain't got a problem. Managers have problems. Investors get cash flow. See what I'm saying? Okay. Owners do not have problems. Managers have problems. He's like, man, I got to tell you this. You got to listen to what I'm telling you right now. Dale was a good friend of mine. Still is. And he says, 2 people were found dead in the trunk of a car in the parking lot at the Greenberg property. I'm like, bro, dead? They dead? In the trunk of the car. Were they renters? I had 2 questions. Do they rent from us? And did they pay? Because they're going to be late for sure. He's like, no, man, it was visitors on the property. I've gotten all these phone calls. Grant, hey, Grant, we got a little kid, 8 years old, drowning another kid, 8 years old, in the swimming pool. Like, I got 15,000 families that rent from me. So you're going to have problems, right? Occupancy, okay? Actual income, less of your expenses, equals your NOI. Here's your formula. Divided by your cap rate equals the price to offer. You can do this on a napkin. I highly suggest you do it on a napkin. Don't do it on a spreadsheet. Do it over and over. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 things to learn here. Number of units. What is the number of units? Let's see how fast. Put me on a timer. Put me on a timer, man. Okay? Not yet, though. Let me find my little marker. Okay? Where's my marker? Where did mine go, though?
Both of them.
Okay, watch this. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Y'all ready? Spit. 3, 2, 1. I have 30 units, $1,000 a month, times 12, okay? $30,000 times 12 is $360,000, okay? Assume I collect 90% of that. That is 324,000 a month is the most income I can get to. I got to that number, and I know the 324 has 40% expenses, which is about $128,000 a year.
194,000
How much
left
is it?
over. 194,000 of gross income.
40% of that number?
That's the
No,
inverse.
it's 128,000.
Yeah, that's the inverse. I'm giving
Equals what? What's my number?
194 is your
$194,000 is my NOI. Divide that by a 6. 2.2 million?
3.2.
$3.2 million.
48 seconds.
48 seconds. I'm in the neighborhood, okay? 3.2. Now, once you do this underwriting, the next thing I want you to do is divide by the number of units, which is how many? I forgot how many units we have.
30?
30?
No, was it?
I forgot how many units we had here.
30,
Yeah,
yeah.
30. So I'm paying $100,000 a door.
108, yeah.
How much are the rents?
$1,000 bucks.
$1,000, buy the real estate.
Tell them what that rule
Okay,
is.
this is the rule. Once you get your price, you then divide by the number of units. Once you get your price, let me go this way. You divide by the number of units, price. Hey man, I could pay $3.2 million, or somewhere in the neighborhood. You don't need to be exact right now. This is just, you're gonna start a conversation with the guy anyway. Hey man, I'm somewhere between 2.8, 2.9, 3.2, might be able to go as high as 3.5. That's how I'm gonna pitch it to the guy, okay? Because I'm gonna look at my units. I'm only paying $100,000 a unit, and my rent is $1,000 per unit, and that equals what's called the 1% rule. And the 1% rule says if you're paying $100,000 a unit, and you divide the rent 1,000, and you come to 1%, it's a good deal. Okay, so it's a fair deal. Okay, so what am I going to do? What's the order here? The math doesn't matter, folks. The math you can do over and over again. The order is this: find a deal, contact a broker. You guys understand, I'm underwriting this. I'm literally doing this all at the same time. These look like steps to you, but they're not to me. The speed at which you can move into the marketplace is vital. That means we need to build what? There was 5 things you need. You need a deal, you need debt, you need equity, you need a network. I'm calling a broker, that's part of my network. But number 5, you need the Mac Daddy. You need the thing that I can give you. I can't give it to you today, but I can accelerate how fast you get it. What's number 5? Number 5, Adam, is confidence.
Got it.
And confidence, when you're talking to the broker and to the seller, confidence comes from conviction, okay? And they're like, oh, I got a guy. I know a guy, okay? Now, biggest mistakes you're gonna make is number 1, not getting started. Today is not getting started. Today is pre getting started. You haven't got started. I'm gonna go to the F1 race today, okay? They're in there working on the cars right now. The race hadn't started. They're preparing for the race. A lot of preparation goes in to getting ready to be on that track. Number 2, the mistake you're going to make is going too small. You guys are going to underestimate what you're going to do. You're going to end up with a deal that requires you to be a manager. You're going to hate yourself. Okay, number 3, selling a property. Jared suggested earlier that you would 1031. A 1031 is selling something, moving into another asset. It gives you a tax gain, but if it was a good asset, you will regret as time goes on getting rid of that asset. Remember the one I sold, the first one I ever sold, that I made $3.5 million on. Everybody's like, oh my God, you can't make a mistake if you made $3.5 million. Okay, I sold it for $5 million. Today it's worth $14 million. Did I make a mistake? It would be paid off today. I wouldn't owe any money on it today. My balance would be 0. I could get a loan for $9 million. The $9 million loan would be a non-taxable event. I would get $9 million. How many of you'd like to get $9 million one time and not pay taxes on it?
Well,
you can't even do that if you win the lottery.
It took a second for you to raise your hand. I mean,
if you win the lottery, they're going to take 50% of it. I get $9 million plus 2. I would have earned income for 30 years from that asset that was going up the whole time. Okay? Number 3, I have been getting tax benefits for 30 years because I own this asset. 4, my net worth was growing on a piece of paper without me doing anything. I'm getting older, but my net worth is going up because my assets are getting more valuable while my ability to earn money is going down. Okay, number 4, not raising money is a mistake. You guys should figure out how to raise money. I don't want to raise money. I want to do it myself. You should raise money. Trust me, it's a mistake. Find the right deal and help the neighborhood. Help your community own part of this. What Jared said earlier, you don't need to own it all. You need to get other people to benefit from this, and they'll start talking to other people. And number 5, Number 5, biggest mistake is doing it alone or just with people in your limited network. You got to expand your network. They say, there's an old saying, some of you already know what it is. It's so famous. I don't know who said this. Who gets credit for that?
Well, you could take it.
Net worth.
I don't.
I think you made it. You made it famous
made it
to a new
legendary?
generation.
Okay, I don't know. Find out who made who that. Your network. Your network
Tim Sanders, maybe.
is your net worth.
Porter Gale is also in her.
You know, there's another saying about the summation of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
How long ago was this book written?
You know, if you're hanging around people, everybody smokes weed every day. No, and I have no judgment if you're smoking weed, but if you're smoking it every day, and you know where to get weed. But, dude, what if you put the same energy and know where to get deals? Because, you know, you can't even make money selling weed today. You really can't. There's nobody making any big money in cannabis. Okay, and you're just using weed. I posted on X yesterday. Hey, look, if you smoke weed, you're never going to reach your full potential. Even if you do, you will not be able to maintain it consistently. Somebody hit me back and said, showed a picture of Elon smoking weed on Joe Rogan. Elon Musk does not smoke weed on a daily. Okay, if he took a couple puffs, big deal. That's not the issue. The issue is if you're a smoker, a daily smoker, you're not going to reach your full potential, and you're not going to do it for long periods of time, consistently over a lifetime. Okay, and because you're going to be with a network of weedies. Okay, and they're going to be a bunch of smokers, and if you're smoking, you're not looking at deals. And I don't know what that has to do with this, except that your network is your net worth. Okay, the people you're hanging with are going to determine how far you get in life. And I think most of you would agree with that. We're giving you an opportunity to have instant access to a network of people that are serious about investing in real estate. Okay. Why you won't buy the real estate? Man, we're here, and then Q&A?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Then I want to open it up to a bunch of questions. Okay?
Write some deals too.
Okay, yeah. Huh? And do what?
Maybe
Underwrite
if
some.
people in VIP
they
have
have.
brought deals.
Yeah, if you guys
they
bring
have
deals, if you have deals, I'm going to open it up to a Q&A right now and show you what we do on our Friday calls, answering questions and underwriting deals. Why you won't buy deals. Should I save this and just go to that? Number 1, no money. This is an excuse. Did you give me an excuse image? No money. You're going, I don't have any money. This is an excuse. Stop it. Stop the madness. You don't have money because you make excuses.
And this is a very foreign concept for most people. Like the less understanding you have about how investing in general works, the more foreign the fact that you don't need money will be to you. Because the more you get involved into the investing world, the more you'll realize that the biggest institutions in the world don't use their own money. They get it from other people.
Look up, what did they start Blackstone with? How much money did they start with? And where did the money come from? Y'all are to study this book, Steve Schwartzman. I forget the name of the book. Fantastic audio book.
Jesus. Their
Yeah.
first
No,
fund.
how much money did they start with?
I think they each put 300 grand in. Yeah.
400K
Yeah.
from the personal funds and borrowings of its founders.
But that was for operations.
400 grand from personal money and the borrowings of their founders. Is that right?
Yeah, Peter Peterson and Steven Schwartzman.
Yeah,
They
they
did-
put 400 grand in. What's it worth today? Because they haven't put any more money in since then.
They didn't even invest with that money. That's the point.
20 billion.
They didn't buy anything.
They
with
funded
that.
the 400 grand. That is not, Jared's saying they didn't invest that money. They just put it up.
Yes,
In
you can see
'87,
that.
their first fund was $800 million.
Yeah. And it's
They
worth
started the fund with their own money to operate and for the operations of the business.
That was
and then
$1 trillion
They went out
ago.
and raised the money.
Now, when I read this book, I was so angry and so envious. And so like, God damn, why was I born into my family, damn it? Bruh. If I would have been born into Steve Schwartzman family, I would be Steve Schwartzman today. But I wouldn't be Cardone, okay? Now, I can't change that, so I can be angry for a second and then say, wait a minute. All I got to do is basically study what they did. They took $400,000 of something, credit cards, promises, could have pledged their house. Who knows what they put up? It's a bunch of bullshit. Okay? But you see, they have a different network. He was born into a network of connections. If you're black or brown or female, you don't automatically have a hook into that. If you're a white male, you have a better chance of doing that, but you have to be a white male in the right location, because if you're in Lake Charles, Louisiana, in a refinery town where everybody's either a fisherman or a union worker and you're white, guess what? Bro, you ain't got the connections because you ain't in the network. You're not in the vein of where the money's at. Right? So they took 400 grand. Their first raise was 800 what, Jared?
800 million
800 million.
in 87.
Their company today is worth one. Hold on, let me get this right because I've never written this one. Is there not three more?
3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, you're at $1 billion.
No, I need three more.
No, that's right. I think that's right.
Is that right?
100 million, billion. You got three too many.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I could take those off and still be good.
Yeah.
Okay, now I want you guys, their fee to manage this money is 1.5%. I want everybody to put this in your little machine. $1 trillion, they're worth more than $1 trillion today. This is not even the biggest company.
Yeah, I won't go on that.
Times 0.015. This is their annual gross income before they steal anything.
15.
How much?
15
15 what?
billion.
That's what they earn a year. Divide by 12 months. $1.15 billion in gross net operating income. Bangs their statement every month. $1 billion every month. Okay, and the bigger are going to get bigger, and your guys are going to complain about it, and you're going to own nothing, and you're going to be like happy about it. And you're going to be pissed off at the rich people because they got rich and you didn't learn how they got rich. That's the excuse, folks. You don't have any money? Guess what? Steve Schwartzman, a $1 trillion company, started with no money. Number two, it's too complicated. It's actually not complicated at all. In fact, it's so simple that it's complicated. The person that's complicated right now is you. Your daddy told you, buy a house and you're gonna get rich one day. Bro, it is so hard to do that. It's like almost impossible. You've just been given the wrong data, okay? Number three, no good deals. There are a glut of good deals right now. I can't even do all the deals that I'm looking at. Look at this. We did find bezel, right? Okay, this is the deals I'm working right now. I wrote these two deals. The Promenade deal, that's just down the street.
Yep.
You know that deal?
The one on the corner?
When you come around the corner?
Yeah.
And this deal, where's that 648 unit deal right there? So we just made offers on that for 128 and the other one's 197. Okay, I don't have the money for either one of them. Okay, you guys understand? It's not like I have the money. I just know how to talk to these guys. And they understand that most people don't have the money for these deals. Nobody really has the money for the deals. You got to raise the money for the deals, and they know that. Number four, no credit. I don't have any credit. I'm going to buy these deals with no credit. I don't need credit. The property needs the credit. The property needs the historical credit of being able to produce revenue to pay the debt. And number five, excuse. Do we have an excuse face? Do you ever give me an excuse face? The fifth excuse you guys are going to use, I'm just telling you preemptively the reason or excuse that you're going to use. No money, too complicated, no deals, no credit, and no knowledge. And I'm just going to tell you, want to make a note here. Your excuses are bullshit. They're not true. They're not real. These are stories you tell yourself. So, in the chat, I want you to write down, which excuse have you been using? And don't have excuses and be a liar. What excuses have you been using? Throw it in the chat. Which of these 5 have you been telling yourself? Bill Lee, no money. No money, no money. There's 3 of those. No money. There's another. Number 5, no money. No knowledge. No credit score. Too complicated. No knowledge. No knowledge and no money. Not finding the deal. No money. No money, no knowledge. Got comfortable. No money and no knowledge. Yeah, I got comfortable is not an excuse, dude. That's not your excuse, okay? No money, no money. All of them. 1 and 2. No knowledge and no money. Afraid to start. Okay, good. No mentor. Great. Well, guess what, guys? As of today, right now, money's not the issue. Complication, I'll handle. Money, I'll handle, by the way. If you find a deal that's too big, I'll buy the deal. Trust me, I'm buying these deals anyway. Bring me a deal that's too big, that's perfect, that's exactly the way we want. You can't find good deals? I'm finding deals. I looked at 30 deals today. There's probably 10 of them in there you could buy right now. No credit, you don't need credit, and no knowledge. We're going to give you the knowledge. We're going to show you where to get the credit, the debt. We're going to show you where to find good deals. We're going to simplify it so it's not complicated. And I'm going to show you how to raise money. Real Estate Mentoring Club, okay? We want you to join, okay? I think the link is grantcardone.com/join. This ends today at 12 o'clock in 55 minutes. We're going to take this link down. It will not be available to you. We offered you something yesterday that was ridiculous. You pay one time, you keep it for life. You get to go to 2 events this year, a real estate summit and the wealth conference. If you can't make those 2, we'll hold those until you can come. When's the real estate summit?
July.
Real estate summit's in Scottsdale, Arizona in July. You just got to get yourself there. We have a seat ready for you for the first 100 that take advantage of this. And the 10X Wealth Conference is in Miami.
Yep. May 31st.
May 31st and June 1st. Again, if you can't make either one of these, we will hold you 2 seats for whenever you can make it so that you don't lose those. All right? Now, we sell out on these events. So if we sold out, okay, if you wait to book your seat and we're sold out, I can't help that. I mean, I have a hotel room that I'm physically tapped out on. But again, you do not lose the seat. You get a wealth conference seat, that's $5,000 a seat, and you get a 10X Real Estate Summit seat, and that is $5,000, and we're giving you those for free, okay?
We literally we have 65 seats left for the live event in July.
Okay, we also include the real estate mentoring program. You cannot buy that. You can only get in that when you join this. You do not get access to the names, the people, their emails. It is an exclusive and private group. The real estate resource book is $2,500 on our website. You get that for free. That includes your due diligence package, your purchase and sale agreements, your due diligence check sheet. Did I say that?
Due diligence checklist.
Due diligence checklist, your due diligence on your financials.
Sample lease agreement.
Sample lease
Eviction
agreement.
notices.
This book is about this thick, and it's basically what we use to prepare all our deals, and the letter of intent, including the letter of intent. You get this book as well. And in the first 6 pages are all the real estate brokers around the country that are the most notable, and their phone numbers and emails, okay? The Real Estate Masterclass, that is a $10,000 product you can buy on our website. You get that for free. That's 16 hours. You get it for life. And the Buying Apartments introduction course to buying apartments, lifetime access. That is also about 14 hours of me delivering the basics of how to find it, fund it, underwrite it, buy it, manage it, exit it, and how to package it, meaning put together a portfolio of them. 12 months, we're going to make it a lifetime. Scratch that out, it's not a lifetime, okay? And we do a coaching call every Friday to answer your questions. If at any time you decide to upgrade this to our club, I don't know if Jared hit this yesterday, we do a club. The club is for people that want to raise money and actually have deals.
They're ready.
What?
They're ready to do deals.
They're ready to do deals. They're funding deals. They're finding deals. They're buying deals.
They don't need the education. That's not what they're looking for.
When you're ready to move up to the club, we will credit whatever you paid here today for that club so you lose nothing. Okay, this is a no-brainer, folks. We made this as easy as we can for those of you that are committed to doing this, okay? Now, let's do some Q&A because the Q&A to me is the most valuable way to really get your head wrapped around real estate, because somebody else's question at some point in your future is going to be something you use but didn't know to ask for today. So let's go to Lorenzo. Yo, what's up, Big L?
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you, man.
Fantastic. Thank you very
You're
much.
the second Lorenzo I've talked to this week.
Oh, you must have had a good week then. Lorenzo's are usually pretty cool.
It's a great name. It's a great name.
Thank you very much. You kind of answered my question a few minutes ago. So, would you mind giving a quick example of when it comes down to raising money, whether people know you or they don't, like how you kind of walk into it?
Yeah, it's a great
Especially
question.
as a newbie.
This is a great question, by the way. When you learn how to tell a story around your deal, the better you can tell that story around the deal, the better you understand what I'm teaching you guys. Because everything I'm teaching you is how I tell the story around the deal. If you notice, anytime I've ever shown you a deal, I always start with the deal. I never start with the math, okay? I'll give you an example. You've seen me do this. Y'all don't know I'm doing it, but I'm telling you I'm doing it. I'm telling you now I'm doing it. Let me see. And the better the deal, the easier it is to raise the money. Let me find something sexy. It doesn't mean it needs to be this, okay? It doesn't have to be this sexy, but you want to take the attention, Lorenzo, off of you and put it on the deal. Because now they don't have to trust me, okay? You see, the problem with raising money is there's a trust factor. Mm-hmm. And you might think it's because you're black. I might think because I talk too fast. But everybody has their own personal
Skepticism.
your own lack of confidence in your story to tell, right? So I'm gonna be like, I talk too fast. People think I'm slick. You know, I'm better looking than you, Lorenzo. So that's gonna be against me. Okay. You, on the other hand, have a very trusting face. So I could look at you. I'm not talking about what you think about yourself. What I think about you. Oh man, he's a trusting person. You look like a really nice guy, which by the way, might not be what I want in a partner. I might want a vicious killer. So you understand, you can never look the way everybody wants you to look. And then you've got your own internal dialogue going on. Oh, it's my first deal. I've never done a deal. I don't have any money. I'm not sure. So you got your own internal dialogue. So you want to get all that off of you and say, look what I have. I have this deal under contract. So you're always starting your story to raise money with the deal. Okay? It's going to go like this. Exactly the same order as the sequence I gave you guys. Number one, the deal. I have the deal under contract, $250 million, and I already have the debt for 180. That's your biggest buyer, by the way. You see, you guys start with the money, the equity. I don't want to start with the small. I want to start with the biggest chunk. We're out again?
Yep.
It's easier to buy real estate than it is to keep fucking mic working.
We a long way from the metaverse.
Excuse my ethos. I shouldn't be doing that on Sunday. Should pay some respect. Put some respect on my check. Okay, now I got to raise $70 million. Okay. Now I'm not going to tell them that. Look what I got. Look what I got. Look what I got. Look what I got. Oh, wow. Let me tell you the story about this deal. The guy put it under contract. Been working on it 18 years. 18 years. I have it under contract. He's got $1.1 billion worth of assets next to it. He needs to sell this to keep his hotel and his condo working, bro. Okay. Now, I already have a loan for $180 million. Well, how do you know that? Because this deal, a deal this big, is going to come with this solution. You're never going to have a deal this big without that solution. Otherwise, the guy wouldn't list it as an asset that they could earn a commission on. This is already in place. I didn't have to go do this, find this, nothing. So I'm basically saying, look, the bank of Fannie Mae wants to give me a 10-year loan on this thing right now. Fannie Mae, bro. Fannie Mae's giving me 180. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is this is my storytelling. I need 70 guys to each give me $1 million. This is where your problem comes in because you ain't got 70 friends with $1 million. Right, Lorenzo? I can't hear it, Lorenzo.
They muted him, I think.
Yeah.
You got to
Okay.
unmute real quick, Lorenzo. There you go.
Man, I like listening to this guy, man. Lorenzo,
Thank you.
how many friends do you have with $1 million?
Probably 5.
Okay, well, you're going to come up $65 million short. If they all believe you, and they're not. The
Right.
people that you guys are closest to are going to be the last people to give you money.
That was something else I was going to ask.
They ain't
Right.
going to give you money, man. You know what? Your mama's got $1 million. She ain't giving it to you because she remembers when you were playing with yourself. She can't take you serious. She's like, I remember when your little fat black ass was in the bathtub and all you did was play with your tallywhacky the whole damn time. Your Annie's not going to give you any money. Ain't nobody going to give you money that knows you because they remember you when you were 3 years old and they can't take you serious. Bro, you know one guy right now
right.
that can write a check for the entire amount. And you said you got 5 guys with $1 million. You're talking to a guy right now that can write the check for this deal.
Wow.
I'm your
Got it.
network. I'm your network. Now,
Okay.
the reason I'm your network, the reason I got sucked into your vacuum is because you got the deal. That's all I care about. I don't care who brought me the deal. I'm looking for the deal. So everybody needs to fix one thing. You guys all need to fix number 5. And it's funny. Pull up Lorenzo Fertitta. It's funny that your name is Lorenzo because 3 days ago I had a phone call with another Lorenzo
Wow.
and his brother Frank.
$3 billion.
Okay? You going to pull up pictures of them? Or are y'all doing that? Or I can do it? I thought y'all were on it.
Here.
They're getting itchy.
Okay. And Lorenzo, the other Lorenzo I know has a problem. He's like, I got a plane for sale. Uh-oh, not that one. Too late.
I'm like,
It's
That's-
on my computer.
Yeah.
If you guys want to go to me on 10X Studio.
Okay, this guy's worth $3 billion. That's the other Lorenzo.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. So I called the Lorenzo because Lorenzo, you see, I want to be connected to people. I want to be connected to people that have deals or doing deals. That's Lorenzo and Frank, by the way. And they have a plane for sale. I happen to know they had a plane for sale. I said, hey, I asked a friend of mine, Jeff Sofer, who owns the Turnberry Hotel here, the Fontainebleau Hotel, owns a new casino in Las Vegas. I said, Jeff, I heard the Fertittas have a plane for sale. Yeah, there's their yacht. That yacht's fantastic. These are the kind of people you guys should be talking to. Now, Lorenzo, you're like, how am I going to get to talk to Lorenzo? You don't need to, bro. You're talking to me. I'm talking to Lorenzo. He's part of your network. And he happens to have this plane for sale. So I get on the phone call with Lorenzo. I said, hey, I'm thinking about buying a 7500. I heard yours is for sale. Yes, it is. We have a conversation. I'm like, why are you guys selling the plane? And they said, we just bought 3 of them.
Wow.
We don't need 4. Just different problems, man. It's stupid. So all of a sudden I get dropped into a world of complete stupidity. Now, I want everybody to write this down. Lorenzo, thank you for being here, by the way. I hope I answered your question. I want you guys to write this down, okay? This is stupid. Everybody agree? Somebody owns 3 planes and a couple of yachts is stupid. Okay? Put in the chat if it's stupid, because it's stupid. I'm telling you it's stupid right now. There's no reason for 2 people to own 3 planes. The question is, what side of stupid you want to be on? Okay? Because not owning a plane is also stupid. You know, being poor is stupid. Working your whole life, earning money, paying taxes, only to find out you don't have anything at the end of your life, that's stupid too. So you guys that wanna like vilify getting rich or super rich, yeah, it's stupid. I'll admit it. It's dumb. You don't even need to do it. But all this shit is stupid. Okay? There's a lot of things that are stupid. What side of stupid do you want to get on? Okay? And that's what you guys need to fix today. Because when you get in a network of people that own yachts, they are going to admit buying a yacht is stupid. They're going to be like, it's stupid and it's ridiculous. And then the next thing they're going to say, it's the best time I ever spent in my life. And they're going to say, the first day I bought it, there's 2 great days when you own a yacht. The day I bought it and the day I sold it. Those are the 2 best days of my life.
Let's go to George Ostap.
Okay, real estate, you know, accumulating 1,000 units would be stupid. But it'd be better than not having any. That's stupid too. Yes, sir.
George, you're up. Go ahead and unmute. There you go.
I think I'm on mute now.
There you go. You're good to go.
Hey, let me
Hi,
ask you
Greg,
real quick, George, what side of stupid you want to get on?
Not the right one, the wrong one.
Yeah.
Hey, I got 2 questions for you and 1 request. I was at the other event that you said that you will tell us which part in Houston it will be a good place to invest and bad to invest. You said on Discord you will say.
Yeah, Sugarland, Montrose, Woodlands, depending on the price. Sugarland would be a great place to buy real estate in Houston. The Montrose market, very, very tight. Galleria, got to be very careful. The Woodlands, awesome. Parts of Katy, the rest of that city, be careful, man. Tremendous amounts of inventory. Very flat market.
We live in the Woodlands, and I'm investing in Heights and some other parts in River Oaks.
The Heights, I'm sorry I left that off. Unbelievable. I'd leave the medical center alone. I'd leave downtown alone. I'd leave everything around Hobby Airport alone. I wouldn't touch it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, my biggest question here from all the cars from yesterday and today, you say that after you purchased, because I already purchased 3 apartment projects, and one of my biggest question for you is that you say that you can raise the rent.
Say that again?
You raise the rent, right?
Yeah, raise the rent. Yep.
How you raise the rent if you don't upgrade it? How do you raise the rent if you don't?
Oh, dude, the best way to raise the rents is without doing anything.
How?
Boom. I bought it. New sheriff in town, $25 rent increase. I don't need a reason, bro. Why you think you need a reason to raise the rents? My kids come to me and ask me for money. They don't have a reason. My wife takes money from me. She didn't have a reason to take that money from me. She's just like, that's my money. Why did you think to raise the rents $25? How much is that? 0, 0.
25 on 40?
$1,000? Yeah. $1,000 times 12. $12,000. I made $12,000 because I raised the 20. There's no 10 commandments that says, thou shalt not raise rents if thou shalt not do something. I'm like, bro, you've been renting here. I'm changing the rents from $1,200 to $1,225. All right. Why does Starbucks increase the price of a coffee $1? Because they can.
No, but
that coffee didn't change, bro. The coffee didn't change. The cup didn't change. The service didn't get better.
you've been saying over and over a higher rates increase, not $25. You've been saying hundreds of dollars increase.
Okay, if you want to rate, I gave you another example today where I raised the rents on myself. I gave you another example where I fixed the splashboards, the floors, and the appliances, and raised the rents $1,000. If you're going to raise the rents $1,000, you probably need to do something. But
Meisner.
I'll show you a deal that I bought, 250 units in Meisner and Boca Raton. We raised the rents $500. The rents were $1,500. We raised them to $2,000, and I put 2 palm trees in the front yard.
And pressure washed it.
And pressure washed the place. I didn't do anything else. I walked in, changed the name of the property to 10X Meisner. Mm-hmm. Y'all can bring it up, yeah, because I just can't do anything. I bought this property, painted it white, put 2 palm trees in the front, and raised the rents $500 on 250 units. I didn't do anything. Now people are like, man, I sure wish you'd fix my kitchen. I will. It's $500 as is, and it's $1,000 if I do the kitchen. It's $1,250 if I do the kitchens and the floors and the bathroom. And guess what? We took 250 units and we increased the value $40 million in 18 months doing all that. The best value was this. Don't do anything and raise the rents.
Because I think I made a mistake because the 3 complexes that we purchased, we invest almost $10,000 on each unit, on each store.
You didn't need to, bro. You didn't need to. You didn't need to.
Most people over.
You need to get $200 a month times 12. That's $2,400 to get a 24% return on a $10,000 investment. I spent nothing and raised the rents $100. What's my return? 100 times 12 is 1,200 on a zero investment. Never, ever. Number one, you would never rehab everything, ever. You would only rehab a couple of them, not a bunch of them, so that I have a spread. Let's say I have, I just bought a deal, right? Let's say I bought 10 units just to keep it simple. I bought 10 units. I would take one of them maybe and and do the kitchen and keep the other 9 the way they are. I might take this one. Let's say they're $1,250 a month, and I might take this one and do a really spectacular job and take the rents to $2,250 and leave the other 9. Let's say they're $1,250 right now. I'd take the other 9 and start raising them $50 each. 50 times 9 is 450. 450 times 12 is $5,200 a year. But I spent what? Nothing. But I spent $10,000 on this one and got another $1,000. The reason I did this one was so I could pull the rents up on the other ones. You follow what I'm saying? Tricky Ricky, baby. Just, Matrix. Kung Fu. Bruce Lee. Grant Cardone. Why spend money, dude? The best investment is just to raise the rents.
Well, I was a rookie.
That's all right. Now you know. I mean, there's different levels of the game. The levels of the game are you get in the game, you get good at the game, you get better at the game, you get excellent at the game, you become a master of the game. Then you teach the game. Any true master is going to share it with other people. You're not going to keep it to yourself. You're going to share it with other people and continue to sensei your game. Okay, next question.
We're asking questions about rent raises. If you have a bunch of in-place lease agreements, there's probably going to be some clause that you can't just go in and raise all the rates on an existing lease. So what you do is if they're month to month, then you can go with an increase. But if they're currently under a lease, then you have to wait till that lease expires. So typically, because people come in at different points in time, you're going to be rolling these rent increases out over the course of some months.
Yeah, you're going to have a rent roll, and it's going to look like this. You're going to have a rent roll. Yeah, I wish I didn't have to. Yeah. Ben, Bob, John, Ellie, Jack, Jerk, John, E, Sue, Dick, and Lily. And they're going to have dates. They're going to have dates when the expiration is. Date is June, July, August, September, October, November, December, blah, 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 right? Well, it's June. I can raise her rents. You can't raise these other people's rents. July, I can raise her rents. Hey, notification, we got a rent raise. I'm sorry that we have to do this. Property taxes and insurance went up. The state's crazy. We live in New York. These people are insane people. Joe Biden, Donald Trump. Just blame every freaking, if they're Democrat, blame the Republicans. And if they're Republicans, blame the Democrats, and you'll get it every time. Like, it's not even an issue. Just blame it on the other party if you know how they vote, okay? And then the word's going to get around. Oh, shit, they're raising rents. And then you could actually go talk to these people in August, September, October, November, and you could talk to them early. Hey, guys, look, you know this is coming. John and Jerk told you. You see what I'm saying? So it's not all going to happen at one time. Okay, let's go to Melvin. Melvin, the Montana's great. What up, Mel? Double M, Eminem. Come on, bring it to me.
Oh, here he goes.
Yeah. Good morning, guys. Actually, I have only one question. So basically, I'm from the Philippines, and I'm just handling a single family, 5 units, and then I'm thinking to liquidate all units and start here in the US. So approximately, I'm getting like 5.6 cap rate, and I'm earning like 1.2. That is around $20. $25,000 every year for the 5 units.
25,000 a year.
Net cash.
Yeah, that is the net cash. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And how much did you invest?
So I invested for this 5 units for, let's say, 15 million for approximately 250,000.
Yeah, but how much did you put? How much did you invest? That was the total price. But how much money did you put in the deal?
I mean, that's all pay off already.
Oh, okay. It's paid.
Yeah,
You paid off the
pay off.
250.
Yeah, that's
So
all.
you
pay
have no
off.
debt now.
Yeah, yes.
So you're earning 10% on your money.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to, because my question is I'm new in the market. I'm new in the US market. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to liquidate it all. So approximately it will comes up like 500 to 600,000 if I will liquidate the 5 units.
Okay.
500 to $600,000. So I want to bring that in the US, and then
So you want to bring
I
the
don't-
250. You want to bring the 250 from the Philippines into the U.S. Or you want to start doing what we're doing in the U.S. Okay. I mean, you don't need to sell that in the Philippines to bring it to the U.S. and start buying real estate in the U.S. You should just start buying real estate in the U.S. Eminem.
Okay.
You know.
I mean, because I would say if I get $100,000 and then find a deal, and then it will be a backup plan to. I don't know, because I'm just trying to figure it out how to start with the deal. Like you have mentioned before that there is a 4. I mean, I could start 4 units, or 5 units, or whatever. More than 4, that would be. I'm not in the right position
Well,
to say,
you
but
could. I mean, you could, but I would encourage you to. You got your 5 units. You got 250 grand. Sell them. Grab your 250. Bring it into the United States and start buying real estate. I don't know why you would start at 5 units. You've already done 5 units. Like if you've done 5 units, why don't you start with 50 now?
no. I have 5 units in the Philippines, and I'm thinking to liquidate it, sold it out,
Yeah.
and then bring the money here in the US and start thinking to start four, or how much
Yeah.
I could start
Okay.
more
Again,
than four. Yeah.
I don't know if it's my English or you're a Filipino, but I don't know why you just don't come here and start with 50 units rather than starting with 4. You don't need to start with 4, bro. You've already done 5. You're going backwards. Okay. You could sell your stuff in the Philippines, but I'm telling you, you don't need any money to buy real estate. You need
Yeah.
a deal. You start with the deal. You don't start with the money.
Actually, I started that 5 units with a 1 unit only, and then leverage it, and then try
Okay.
to I
Okay.
mean, I took it from the bank. I took it from the bank. All of that money, I took it from the bank.
The thing that he's saying, guys. Am I on? Each one.
Did we covered all these walls?
Can you hear me? You like it?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, the thing that the mistake that you're making, Melvin, is the same mistake that 99% of people. The mistake that you're making, Melvin, is the same mistake that 99% of people that start getting invested in real estate make. Is you're thinking with the money you have rather than the deal that you want. Like if you guys can imagine, like throwing a party at your house,
Moving.
and if you could have the best party at your house, everybody's going to want to come to your party. And real estate's the same thing. Like if you put together a great party, everybody's going to want to come party at your house. And real estate is the same way. You go out and find a great deal, you're going to get people that want to party. Banks are going to want to give you debt, and people are going to want to give you money to invest in it.
What market do you like? Can't hear you.
Man.
Who mutes him?
Go ahead.
I want to start in an apartment.
What market?
What market do you like?
New York.
Okay,
market.
good, bro. Come. It's a great market.
Yeah, I'm currently in New York, so I'm thinking to start here.
Yeah, good. Don't start with 4 units. Start with 44 units. Start with 140 units. I'm telling you, you can do it. You already have experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't believe it, huh?
Handling for the
Which one of the 5 things are you having a problem with right now? The deal, the debt, the equity, the network, or the confidence?
maybe the confidence.
Maybe.
Yeah, the confidence, because
Yeah, of course, dude.
I'm new in the US market. I mean, I have
So
to
what,
dig it
bro?
out.
Quit telling me how new you are. Like, why do you keep telling me how new you are? I don't care. Quit telling people I'm young, I'm new. I just got to the. Well, who cares? Why you guys keep leading with your liability? You're telling your story about your problems rather than the opportunity. Okay, you got to act like you got something. Right now, you're talking out of your head rather than having an asset. This is why you want to lead with the asset. So anyway, look,
Yeah.
you know,
Melvin, did you join the mentoring program?
Actually, I'm planning.
Well, don't plan to do it. Do it. Are you planning to buy real estate, or are you going to do it? Like, you guys have to make commitments. Like, you have to make commitments and then back those commitments up with action. And so if your confidence isn't where it needs to be, like and you guys have a lot of the same questions over and over and over again. It's the same, and the answer is never going to change. Like, until you get the confidence to know, oh, I know how to find a great deal. I know what market I want to be in. I know exactly how to call a broker. I know how to go out and get debt quotes. I know what cap rates and market should be. I know what rents and market should be.
Yeah.
Until you guys get that confidence up, you're never going to do a deal.
by the way, when you guys do these 4 and under, 1 to 4 units, you need good credit scores. When you buy something 44 units, you don't need a good credit score. So again, you got to decide, all of you have to decide, how much do you trust yourself and how much do you trust me? I'm either trying to sell you guys a $5,000 program, or I actually give a shit about you and I'm trying to show you guys how to get rich. It's one of the two, okay? It's one of the two. I'm either just trying to sell you another program that you're not going to use and you're going to start and you're going to fail with it, and we just got $5,000 from you, okay? Or maybe this guy's actually trying to help you guys, and he's putting a price on it so that the serious people that want to actually do something come pay attention to what they invested in. Okay, let's go to the next question.
Margaret.
Margaret, how you doing? Margaret?
Oh, she's locked up.
She locked up, man. A perfect face. You got the lips working hard.
Don't let me out.
Huh?
Is Bob Rippion available, guys? Okay.
No. Let's do the.
There you go, Bob.
Tony, let's do this. Just turn it on.
Bob, how are you? We got you.
How you doing?
What up, Big Bob? Patriot Bob.
Hey, guys.
See, you immediately know who Bob is and what Bob's all about, right? That's a good look, by the way. That's a great look for you guys that want to be. This is the best look we've seen the entire time for somebody that wants to do deals, to do deals, buy deals, fund deals. No offense, but conservatives own most of the property in America.
My partner Doreen's gonna love to hear that.
He's a what?
Doreen, his partner.
His partner's gonna love to hear that.
Oh yeah.
What's your question, Bob?
Actually, I underwrote a deal last night. It's a 49 unit in Sparta, North Carolina. I've got several brokers from Prexy, Marcus Millichap, that send me at least 11 to 12 properties a day.
Yeah.
My issue is I have a full-time job and I'm getting the time to evaluate them. But I just wanted to run these numbers through to see what
are the rents?
It's a mixture of it's 11 studios.
Just give me the average rent. Keep it simple for me.
I came up with an average rent of $750.
Great, $750. Okay, and what's the occupancy?
98%.
Yeah, that ain't true. But anyway,
it has a Fannie Mae assumable loan.
NOI. Let me just ask you this: the NOI is $293,000 a year.
They say it's 211,759.
Okay, 211. I'm gonna use your number, and they want $3.5 million.
They're asking $3,495,000.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm off by $5,000. Okay.
Wow.
Like, how long did that take? That took 20 seconds.
And it has a cap rate of 6.06.
I know. I put in 6%. That's why I'm probably off by $5,000. All right, bro. Just make an offer on that deal. Okay. Say good. Hey, let's go. Let's settle on the price. We're agreeing on the price. They have a Fannie Mae loan of what now?
It's $1,392,466 at 4.96%.
Okay, now that is an issue.
Little thing.
But back to our boy Eminem from the Philippines. This dude has found a $3.5 million deal. It's already got a loan of it. Of half the deal has already got a loan on it, bro. You don't even need to get a loan. It's got a loan. Like, you guys know about car hacking, right? You don't go get a loan on a new car. You basically just find somebody that's got a loan on a car and you take over their rent payments or their payments. You don't sign anything. You just take it over. Dumbass bought a car he can't afford. Things change. He got a girl pregnant. He had a little 2-door sports car. Now he's like, this doesn't work anymore. Yeah, that's what that costs you. Strap it up. Okay. He's got a $400 payment. He put $4,000 down to get it. He's got 16 payments left. You walk in, you get it for 16 payments times $400. You don't put the $4,000 down. Okay. I'm hacking this guy's loan. So now the other problem, but you need $1.4 million to do this. Right? So the problem this guy's got is people are going to be like, look, I have to put half my money down to do that. How much money do you have?
Zero.
You never say zero. You got something. What could you liquidate?
I don't have any cash.
If we could turn this into $1 million, how much could you liquidate? I mean, today. If I told you, hey, Bob, we got $1 million, I'm going to find $1 million I'm going to find $1 million at 5 o'clock this afternoon. What could you liquidate between now and 4:30?
I have a balance on my HELOC available at 22,000.
Bang. Hey, guys, I'm taking my HELOC out, and I'm dumping 22 grand in this. 100% of everything I got is $22,000. So even if you don't have anything, you come up with something. I'm selling my motorcycle. We're going to get rid of the car. I got an RV. You dump. Say I'm willing to collateralize all this or dump it, and I'm willing to take my HELOC and 22,000. I'm willing to put another 10,000 on my credit card. So what happens is you show so much certainty. You're like, fuck, this guy's willing to throw down. Never say I have nothing, because one, it's not true. It's never true for anyone. Everyone has something to throw in the pot. And then the other thing you have, Bob, is this. I found it. I'm going to get funding on it. I'm going to get us approved on it. I'm going to manage it. I'm going to move into it. And I'm going to fill up the rentals, and I'm going to raise the rents $200, okay? Let me just tell you what the $200 does. 39 times 200 times 12. By the way, you can raise the rents because they're only $750. That's what you told me.
44,
that's $93,600 a year.
44 units. You use 39?
I use 39. How many units is it?
49.
Oh, 49. 49.
49.
49 times 200 times 12 divided by 0.06. Son of a bitch. 200 times 49 times 12 divided by 0.06. $2 million, brother. $2 million. You do your HELOC now, wouldn't you? Fucking
Yeah.
You HELOCing all over the place, redneck. Redneck HELOC. Okay? So what you're going to tell your investors is this. Here's the deal. This is how the deal is going to work. I have the deal. I have the debt ready for the deal. I need $1.4 million. You guys get your 1.4. You earn 6% on the 1.4, and you and I are going to split everything above that 1.4. You get 1.4 plus 6%, and we're going to split the rest, which means, Bob, your $22,000 HELOC would turn into $1 million. That would be a 55% return, a 55x return. Back to the guy in the Philippines who thinks he needs to come over here and buy 4 units. You ain't never going to make $1 million on 4 units. It's never going to happen. Okay? He's just coming in here thinking he needs money. You don't. He needs confidence. Okay? That's the pitch. Okay? Let's go to the next caller.
We're going to try Margaret. She seems like she's back.
Margaret. That last look she had going on was good.
It was a little froze, you know. There she is.
Yes.
She still looks good.
There she is.
Okay. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Good morning. So I have some questions. The one I am first, you said how you talked about not needing money to start the real estate, right? And how can I get the deal? Number one, because I'm into skincare and I've been on that for like 8 years, but I'm trying to get in the real estate right now, and I don't know. I don't have much knowledge on investment, so I really would love to invest. I was thinking about your passive income one to start with, and then I can then progress on more investment. So, how can we get deal? How can we get a deal?
Yeah, how does she get a deal with no money? Is basically the same question.
I just showed you how to do that. Got to get the deal.
Okay.
Got to get the deal first. Like, you got to get the deal, and you're going to probably have to get people to take you serious about your ability to get a deal, maintain a deal, manage a deal, and then, or you can become how much money do you have?
It depends.
No, it doesn't depend. That's bullshit. Y'all need to quit using that word, it depends. That's for later in life.
Okay. No, like it depends. I
No,
feel
it
like
doesn't depend. It doesn't depend. That's not true. It does not depend.
I feel like I can invest if it's very much promising. So yeah.
Promising.
Well, of course, it's going to be promising.
If you could do the same deal that Grant just showed the previous guy, how much money could you come up with today?
I wasn't there with the previous guy.
Okay,
How much money do you have?
How much money?
Really? And then I'm going to ask you how old you are.
Okay, I am 33.
See, I got that one first.
That was easier than the money.
How much money do you have? Have you been divorced?
Yes.
Yeah, how much money do you have? See, I know, man. Shit, I can see it. And damn, she tagged it. She tagged that dude. How much money you got?
How can I say it on the screen? It's just more like I can invest. That's it. I can
Good.
invest.
Look. The IRS knows how much money you have. How much money do you have? Just tell your guy Grant. I'm your buddy.
It's like this is a public.
It doesn't matter. Just tell me how much money do you have? Is it
Let me
more than
just-
200 grand?
Oh, let me just say I have 50 grand now. Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
But is it more than 50 grand?
Let's work with 50 grand right now.
It is more than 50 grand.
Okay.
For sure.
Why does it matter?
Because he's trying to show
I'm
you.
trying to show you how to find a deal. I can't help you.
So how can I find a deal? The one that got me into
Because I'm
more
going to show
like-
you how to use what you have to find a deal. See what
Okay.
How much money? How much money do you have?
I have 50 grand right now.
Okay,
to invest.
I don't believe you. I believe you have more than 50 grand. Your teeth are too white. Your lips are too nice. Okay, the earrings, like the whole thing is like okay, but it looks like you have access to money.
Hopefully.
Okay.
Hopefully.
So you see, I believe in you more than you believe in you.
Husband
Okay.
coming up.
Yeah.
What?
She's
Yeah.
a new husband coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need to find a deal first. What is
Okay.
your target? What is the target? Everybody remembers this. Start with the target, not with your money.
Okay.
Floyd James says it's a cultural thing. No, it ain't, bro. It ain't a cultural thing. Nobody wants to talk about money because everybody was programmed, don't talk about money. You ask me how much money I have. Ask me how much money I have.
How much money you got?
I have $163 million sitting in an account right now. I don't why wouldn't I tell you?
I mean, you even know that's
It is not a
interesting.
secret. Everybody knows. You guys think any of the bullshit y'all do is a secret? Everybody knows everything. They know your phone calls, your text messages. They know what you look out like on the internet. Like they know everything. And the fact that you guys are running around, they go, I can't tell anybody. Bro, people know everything. So quit worrying about it. You guys need to see the other thing you said that's interesting is the fact that I know how much money I have is interesting.
Yes.
Okay, I know exactly how much money I have, so I know how much money I can put to work.
Okay.
How many kids do you have? How many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids.
Yeah, see, you know you got expenses,
Yes.
but you know, I got 2 kids.
Yeah.
You see, but you need to know that much about your money because your money's going to make you more money than your kids are. Your kids are just going to cost you money.
Yes, you're right.
Right? So this is what we got to shift for everybody, guys. I'm not just showing you how to buy real estate. I'm showing you how to think like a wealthy person. And the way to do this is you find the deal first.
Okay.
Okay? The next time you get married, find a rich dude, super rich. Okay? Don't look for somebody that you're romantically intertwined with. Find a rich dude and then get romantically inclined or entwined or whatever.
You're breaking up. I didn't catch the rest.
Yeah. These fairy tales that are written that, she found a prince and lived happily ever after.
The prince was rich. He came from the royal family.
Exactly. Okay.
Yvette.
Let's go to Yvette Pinzon. Hey, Yvette.
Uh-oh.
You just muted yourself. There you go. Okay. Hey, Yvette.
Hi, guys. How are you? So I'm based in Celebration, Florida right now.
Celebration, Florida. Good. That's right outside of Orlando. It's south toward Disneyland.
Yes. And there's a huge, my question, Grant, is there's a huge outburst of new developments, like just south of Celebration at Davenport.
Yeah, I know Davenport.
My question would be, when I looked at all these developments, I said, I don't think they're going to be able to fill all of them up. because it's not only apartment buildings, but it's also single family homes.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So I don't know if
I agree with you. Notice, did you see me buying anything here that's not already filled up? Have I given you one example of anything that wasn't already stabilized with renters? Not one deal.
Yeah, so
just don't look at those.
Those areas that are like with that tremendous amount of construction.
Just leave all that alone. Leave all that alone. Go to stabilize. Location's important. Stabilization's important. Cash flow's important. There's a whole checklist. There's an A to Z checklist in your book, how to build wealth investing in real estate. You guys all have the book. You go over that checklist. If it misses more than, 27 letters in the alphabet, if there's less than 23 that you can check off, don't even bother.
Okay, any areas you recommend in my surroundings?
I like Celebration. I like that area. You're going to be able to steal stuff over there.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Now, folks, I want to do this before we run out of time today. I want to make sure you guys take advantage of the opportunity we've given you. I'm going to have Jared go over it one more time right now. I'm going to come back and answer a few more questions. Jared, make sure everybody knows what it is and when it ends.
Yep. So the mentoring program is basically an opportunity for you guys to continue to do what we did for the last 2 days for life. Like, this is a new thing that we just did just for this group. We just started it because in the programs that we're running, people have a lot of questions. Like, the same question over and over and over again has been asked in the last hour. How do I get started with no money? Like, you have to get around this information. You have to get comfortable doing the math. You have to get comfortable underwriting deals. Chances are the first time you go out and you look at deals and you start underwriting them, you're going to have questions. And if you don't have anybody to go get your question answered to, what happens? You have an unanswered question. It lowers your certainty. You get discouraged, and then you don't do anything. So we have 2 programs. We have the mentoring program, which is about education. The education is designed to get you more confident. And then we have the club. The club is for people who are like, hey, I'm ready to get started. I'm ready. I've underwritten deals. I have some confidence. The club is a smaller group of people that are active in real estate. So if you want to deploy capital or you want to go raise capital, then join the club. You can call the office if the club sounds like it'd be a better fit at 310-777-0255. And we've created these 2 groups of communities because it's difficult for people to find these types of networks and communities on their own and where they live. And so the Real Estate Mentoring Program is an opportunity for you to get lifetime access to the Introduction to Buying Apartments course. You can watch that 100 times. It doesn't cost you any more money, but you have to go learn this stuff. You're probably gonna have to watch that program 10 times before you start figuring it out. Like, I've been with Grant for 15 years. Every time he talks about real estate, I learn a new thing about a new angle in a different way. And it's an opportunity for you to continue to go through it over and over and over again. Also important about the education piece of this. Grant mentioned the opportunity for you guys to take depreciation losses from a property, okay? If a property's selling for $3.5 million, a percentage of that is depreciable, okay? Land is not a depreciating asset. The fixtures, the kitchens, the toilets, the appliances, the roof, those are all depreciable assets, which creates a loss. That is where the tax benefit of investing in apartments comes from, okay? Now, if you have another job that you're making income from and you'd like to carry over your losses from real estate to your primary income, this is the super hack of real estate. Then you need to become a qualified real estate professional, which means nothing fancy, no certificates, no licenses. All it means is that you spend 15 hours a week doing qualified real estate activity, okay? Educating yourself, looking at deals, underwriting deals are qualified real estate activities. So going through the Introduction to Buying Apartments course is going to give you the ability to start knocking out that 15 hours a week. You can watch that as many times as you want. You get it for life. The Friday coaching calls. We basically do Q&A just like this every single Friday at 3 p.m., and those are always recorded. So if you show up to one, once a month, twice a month, again, that counts towards your qualified real estate professional credits. Now, you get access to that for life. Okay, now we previously only offered this for 12 months, but we want to build a big group. So what happens is you make a one-time investment today, and you get access for a lifetime's worth of information. As long as we're doing these, as long as we're showing up, and I'm only 41, so I got no plan of quitting this anytime soon. You're going to have access to education, network, and community. You cannot get that on your own. You're also going to get access to the Real Estate Masterclass, another education component. Everybody in this room, it's a 2-day live event, spent 10 grand to be in the room. Okay, we had about 150 people there. They all paid 10 grand to be in the room and learn from Grant. He goes deep on this. This is like he was in like superpower mode, superhuman mode when he went through this. You're going to get the real estate resource book. It would probably cost you 15 grand just to get all of these documents put together. Plus, you're going to be able to review it and go through it and figure out like, what documents do I need? Oh, I never thought of that. You're going to have a full package that you can do. You always want to have somebody else look at this, probably an attorney, because we're not giving legal advice here. But these are all the documents that we use. We literally pulled all the documents that we use out in our real estate business and said, hey, this is going to be the resource book so that you have a guide on what to go through. The private networking group, the chat. Is my phone? Where's my phone at? Here we go. The networking group is on my phone here. A lot of new people coming in. Welcome to all the new members. Joey, hey, welcome to all of our new members. We're doing a Q&A call Friday, or Monday rather. If you're in the mentoring program and want to go and want the interactive, go watch the masterclass. It's the interactive on steroids. These are just all people, new people coming in. Let me go to some questions here. There's 2,013 members in this group right here. Okay? You can't really, it's not really zooming in on it. But you'll have full access to this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. People are in, anyone from the Pacific Northwest. I'm in South Florida. Ask your questions here. Welcome, Bill. Anybody in Chicago? What do you think about buying deals in Bronzeville? Let's see, what else here? Matt Tiefke. He does broker calls live every week. Let's see, what else here? The interest rates on adjustable are 2026. Not sure if I can get favorable rates before that. Again, asking questions about a deal. It's an opportunity for you to leverage 2,013 members to do Q&A. You get access to that for life. You're going to get access also to a live ticket to our real estate summit. If you can't make the July event live, we also do this event virtually. Okay, so if you can't make it out for the live event, you could join us virtually in July. Plus, as a bonus, again, this is just for the first 100 people. I think we're almost there. To the 10X Wealth Conference. The 10X Wealth Conference is going to be a 2-day event. The next one is May 31st and June 1st. Okay, it's here in Miami. And all we're doing is talking about wealth building, tax structures, entity structures, life insurance strategies, investing in private equity, investing in real estate. We're going to be talking about debt, consumer debt, how to manage it, how to get out of it. We're going to be Bitcoin and crypto. We got some amazing, like I got the head of asset allocation. I got the head of asset allocation for Coinbase coming. I've got the co-founder of Tether, Brock Pierce, who's coming, and I'm working on getting a co-founder for World Liberty Financial, which is the new administration's crypto arm, digital currency arm. So you guys get access to all of that starting today. You get immediate access to it. And we're doing an onboarding immediately after we finish up in the next few minutes here so that you guys can get into the program and start figuring out how to use it. Okay, it's a $47,000 retail value. You can get access to it for a one-time investment of $49.97 today. This is what everything looks like. Again, you get lifetime access to this. So as long as we're doing it, you have access to it. Not 12 months, not 24 months, not 36 months. As long as it takes you to get the confidence, you can take the time to do that in the program and leverage the network, the know-how, the knowledge, the experience of thousands of members who are also in the group. And when you're ready to upgrade into the real estate club, we're going to give you a credit for the 5. Our goal is to get you into the club so that you're actively doing deals. And when you're ready to do that, we're going to give you a credit, 100% credit for what you invested in the mentoring program to join the club. You can call our office at 310-777-0255. It's 310-777-0255, grantcardone.com/join. If you need a payment plan, go to the page and look at the payment plan options that we have. I think there's also a Klarna option there if you want to do that. And what's the other one? And Afterpay if you want to do that. If you don't see anything you like on the page, just call the office, 310-777-0255. We have options for everybody. Our goal is to make it easy for people to come into the program, not give them reasons not to do it. So if you have questions, if you're unclear on something, if you're unclear on what the product actually is, if you're unclear on what you're going to get from it, if you're unclear on something about it, just call the office and talk to the team. If you can only make a partial payment today and then you got to make another payment next week so that you can take advantage of the offer because it's going to end when we end, call the office. We want to help you. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing it. Okay? This is a big play for us. Grant's entire philosophy about investing in real estate is democratizing access, meaning giving access to everybody, particularly people who are locked out of the game. The deals that Grant typically invests in, it's a small handful of really large banks, really large institutions, people on Wall Street all buttoned up in ties that went to Ivy League schools, and Grant has completely blown that model up. The deals that he invests in today, these beautiful, beautiful properties that you see Grant investing in, like these deals are typically only available for sophisticated investors, wealthy people. That's where these deals normally go. But he said, I want to break that. I want to give the ability for everyday average people to get involved in these deals. We want to educate people about real estate. I did not come from a family that invested in real estate. They didn't know anything about investing. I didn't learn any of that from them. And the ability for me now to look back and go, how big of a factor was investing in creating the net worth that I have today? It was 100% responsible for it. Otherwise, I'd still be making probably 150 or 200 grand a year in a sales job somewhere, trying to figure out how I was going to make it. Okay, this is more. I think the statistic is like 90% of all millionaires own real estate. Real estate has created millionaires for decades. And the only reason why it's not you is because you haven't figured the game out. And like Grant said 100 times, you don't need money. What you do need to know, back to the gal that we had on here earlier that was like, how do I get started with no money? You got to know your game. You got to know how to talk. Like where you don't have money, you have to have something else. So what is that other value you can bring to a deal? Okay? It's not going to be your good looks or your charm or your personality. You have to know how to find deals. You got to confidently speak about deals so that you can pitch deals to people, to investors. Like you have to know that piece of it so that you give them the confidence that they can go, man, I can give my money to Jared and I'm actually confident that he knows what to do with it. If you're trying to raise $1 million from an investor, they're not going to give it to somebody who's stumbling and fumbling all over everything. And you're not going to get great at pitching deals and showing deals to people and looking at deals and calling brokers until you do it. Like this does not happen overnight. And I think a lot of you are like, you're trying to go, I'm going to get started based on what I know right now. And I'm telling you, because I've been in these groups and these education webinars and all these things that we've been doing for the last 7 or 8 years since we've been doing them. The people who think that this one time they're going to get everything and they're going to be confident with it, it never works for them. Okay? Like you have to make a commitment to the education. Okay? If all you did today was grab this information and collect this data, the most that you'll get is you'll get excited about investing in real estate. But when you try to go start making the calls and start figuring everything out on your own, like less than 1% of people can actually pull that off. And maybe you're one of the 1%. Maybe you're the one that's going to get lucky. But rather than luck, what I would bank my money on is my confidence and my ability. And you got to do that over time. My kids are 7 and 4 years old right now. They're learning how to play golf. It's very frustrating for them. They miss the ball, they swing, it doesn't go far, they top it, like they're trying to figure it out. Like every time they go, they get a little bit better. Every Q&A call on Friday that you show up with as part of the program, you're going to learn something new. Every time you see somebody call a broker, you're going to get a little bit more confident to make the call yourself. Like you have to give yourself a lot of swings at the bat so you learn how to do this. When I first learned how to sell coming to work for Grant, I was terrible for the first year and a half. I didn't actually start figuring things out for 2 years. But I had a long-term view on this. So like you guys just got to get in and you got to get started. Because getting started is the thing that's going to get you where you want to go. And the more education you get, the more knowledge you get, the more confident that you're going to get. And the more confident you are, the more action you're going to take. Like our guy Melvin from the Philippines. Like if you knew for sure that you could come here and you could buy a deal that would make you $1 million, how much money could you come up with? Like you tell me a deal I can make $1 million and all I got to do is come up with 20 grand or 10 grand, or I got to take a HELOC out, or I got to put money on a credit card to do it. When I know, if I have certainty, then I'm going to find a way to do it. And that's the gap that most of you have right now, is you're looking at what you have rather than the opportunity. You're looking at what you have and what you know right now, which you may have very little and you may know very little. And that's a recipe for failure. It means that if you don't fix one of those two things, you're not going to get started. Every time I come to these things, after being on hundreds of them with Grant, every time I'm taking notes, every time I'm doing the math myself, every time I get a little bit better. Even though all my money goes with Grant, he invests all of it for me. I still want to know how it works. So again, this is an opportunity for you guys to make a one-time investment for a lifetime of education. And all you guys have to do is go, I'm committed to this. I don't fully understand everything. I don't know everything. I don't trust my own abilities. But the question you need to ask yourself is, do I trust Grant? Based on what he's done and what he's accomplished, do I trust him? It's easier for you to trust in him than it is for you to trust yourself right now. Because he's been places that none of us have been before. And by the way, he's the only billionaire real estate investor that's showing up and that's doing events like this to educate people. Like if this was a pure money play, we would not do this. He would be out buying real estate all the time. But he has a purpose to educate people. It's why we have a big business education company. It's why we have a big real estate education company, because he believes that people need the information that he didn't have, which was he didn't know anything about business, he didn't know anything about real estate investing, and he couldn't find anybody to do it for him. And once he figured it out, he wanted to share the information. So that's why we're here, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. You guys want to try to do a few more questions? Let's see if we have a few more questions. You want to go to Floyd? Floyd, what's up, man?
Hey, how are you doing, Jared?
I'm great.
Awesome. So, my question has to do with, oh, by the way, I'm up in Canada, in Toronto.
Good.
So glad to be here with everybody from the 14th province. My question is about the Toronto market. Like, you guys are maybe more focused on the U.S. market.
Well, if you were here yesterday,
Toronto market right now,
if you were here yesterday, then you may have heard Grant say that there's going to be a big correction that's going to be happening in Toronto. They built a lot, prices went up really high, it got very expensive to do business there, and that is in correction mode, and it will be happening. So. There's a lot of great assets there, but what happens is in a correction, there's this point where the people that are willing to do deals and buy deals, there's a gap between what sellers are willing to sell at and what actually makes sense. And so what happens in a market, it's called capitulation. It means, like, at what point do the sellers readjust their expectation of what they're going to get to meet where the buyers are going to be. And that's what happened. That's what's happening right now in the US. We're just a little bit ahead of you guys up there.
Okay.
Is what happened is in 2020 to 2022, I think that's probably when rates started going up, real estate spiked really high. And prices went up really fast. And people thought that this was just going to keep going. And so what they did is they typically put 3 to 5 year short-term debt on properties because they thought they were going to buy something, they were going to improve it, and then they were going to be able to sell it in the future or recapitalize it, meaning refinance it, pull their money out, what Grant has been talking about over the last 2 days. They thought they were going to be able to do that. And so what they did is they got a 3 to 5 year short-term debt that's adjustable. Meaning as rates go up, their rate goes up. And so what happened was they had this projection. They over-leveraged the deal. When they signed the deal, the interest rate was probably 3.5 to 4%, maybe 4.5%. And so what happened was what nobody expected would happen, which is that interest rates would rise at the fastest rate they ever have in history. And so now what happened is now it's 2025, and their adjustable note is due. And now when they go to put a new loan on that property, the rate's going to be 7.5%. The problem is when the interest rates were low when they signed the deal, the property, the cap rate on the property is determined by the rate on the deal. And so when rates are low, the cap rates get compressed. They get lower because the debt's cheaper. And so that deal, what happened is over the course of 23 to 25, that 3.5 or 4% adjustable rate loan that they had started ticking up. It went to 5%, and then it went to 5.5%. So they're starting to get choked out because when they bought the deal, they thought they were doing a great job because it was at a 5% cap rate.
Can I just add some detail on this?
Yeah, you need a mic. Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to add some detail on this so you understand the problem with the numbers. On $1 million, this is the loan amount. Let's say the guy had, for every $1 million, by the way, if it was 10 million, it'd be multiplied times 10. Okay? If this money is at 3.5%, it can support a $1 million loan. When the loan goes to 7.5%, it can only support about $550,000. His loan is due. I need my loan paid, but his new loan is only $550 because of this. So he needs to come up with $450,000 for every $1 million that he owes. If it's 10, he needs to come up with 4.5 million. If it's 100, he needs to come up with 45 million. Ain't nobody doing that. This is the ideal situation, what you're looking for. So let's say this deal was $2.5 million the last time. Whatever the number is, 2 million, 2.5, and that's what they paid last time. It only gets this kind of loan this time. Okay, I guess it would get. Let's just say if the sale price last time was $1,250,000. Okay, it got $1 million loan last time. He put $250 down. Now he needs to come up with another $450. He already has $250 in. He's like, nah, I'm done. I could barely afford it last time. Okay, so he just had a different business plan. By the way, he didn't buy a bad piece of real estate. He bought wrong guy, wrong time. But the deal is going to get better now. So now this deal is not going to be sold for $1,250,000 this time. Why? Because the only loan you can get on it is $450,000. So they're going to have to adjust that price downward to get to that loan. Whether the seller taps out and says, okay, I got it, or the bank takes it and goes into foreclosure and taps out. The bigger the deals, though, I'll just tell you, the bigger the deals, the less the bank's going to get involved because some guy like me is going to be like, I'm going to figure this out. Guy like the guy from the Philippines, he's going to figure it out. There's some guy going to figure it out. There's so much money sitting around, believe it or not. You might not have any, but it's because your network is broken. So, again, back to what we're trying to help you guys with. 5 things you have to have. You cannot do a deal without these 5 things. These 5 things happen on every deal, and the first thing is the asset itself. Most important thing is to have asset and asset flow. You're not going to find the right first deal the first time, any more than the chances of you falling in love with your perfect mate in the 6th grade. Yeah, it happens, but come on, let's keep it real, okay? Then you're going to need a good loan on the deal. The better the loan, the better loans are going to come from the better assets. I have 4 lenders right now, 5 lenders actually, throwing money at a deal I have. Each of them getting more competitive with the other one. Okay? Asset, debt. Okay, yeah, I'm going to need equity or capital or cash or whatever you want to call it. There's endless amounts of this. There's endless amounts. I just can't. You have a shortage in your head, but there's not a shortage on the planet. You may have a shortage in your bank. in your purse, at the house. You don't know where it's at, but let's all admit, money's printed, so there's never going to be a shortage of it, okay? There's more money than there are phones. There's more money than there are people. There's more money than there are cars. More money than there are tennis shoes. There's more money. It's endless, man. There, like almost anything is more valuable than money because money is infinitely printed, endless. It'd be like saying legal pads or sticky pads are valuable, okay? And then number 4 is, this is what we can help you with. How many people are in the mentoring club now?
2,013 in the chat, so there's probably 3,000.
Yeah, 3,000. You're like, wow, man, that's amazing. Yeah, it is amazing for you. We spend our time and our energy bringing together a network of people that are serious. And the people that are showing up every Friday, they're showing up because we're bringing people into these calls. We've had insurance people in the calls, debt guys on the calls, people learning the game in the call. Ryan Secco that runs $5 billion worth of real estate in the call. Andres, Ben. Those guys have raised $1.6 billion with me, talking to people. I have investors in the calls, other people that are playing, people from our club. If you guys think this $5,000 is expensive, we have people pay us $25,000. I have people that have invested $5 million with me in our real estate deals. So you're getting access to all that activity. And over time, you're going to start building confidence because of this network. When you hang around a bunch of broke people, you're going to get confident about one thing. Life is difficult. Life is hard. There's no money. The government's got us. The whole thing's a rip. They don't like me. We can't ever get up. Yeah, that's right, bro. That's what you're going to get because your network is contaminating your confidence. It's destroying your ability to be confident. If you're around a bunch of confident people, they're like, I got a deal, I got money, I found loan. Okay, we raised the rents. That one dude, I said, raise the rents, don't do shit. He's like, God damn, that's a hack. That's because I grew up in the bayou. You know, when you're poor, you got to figure shit out. When you're poor, you either figure shit out or you don't figure shit out. One of the two. There's nothing, but the people that are poor and not connected that get rich are people that know how to look around corners and find cracks and glitches. So I'm trying to show you guys a hack, okay? You'll see the glitch and the crack. Do you got, Johnny, can you find any of those images of those things? Do you see, you know how you can see one image and there's 2 images in it? I don't know what those are called.
Oh, like, did you see purple or green?
No.
No. Typically, did you see the wolf or the god or the Santa Claus? Yeah, whatever. Once I show it to you, you can see it.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing for you in this mentoring. I'm going to show you this thing that it's kind of invisible to you right now. You know, I'm confident that aliens are on the planet. We just can't see them with our eyes. Unless somebody pointed it out and said, boom, there it is, bro. That you're looking for the wrong thing. And once we all saw it, we'd be like, bang, shit. Yeah, my mama's an alien. Okay. We have about, we're going to keep this open 10 minutes. 10 more minutes. I've extended it. GrantCardone.com/join. GrantCardone.com/join. What's at risk? $4,997 is at risk. Okay. What's at risk? $4,997. This is as bad as it can get, folks. As bad as it can get if everything goes to shit. Okay. Like none of this works. 4,900, 4 numbers, a 4, a 9, a 9, and a 7 become a 0. Okay. That's what boom, it just disappears. By the way, shit probably going to happen anyway. You're going to buy some shoes with it. You're going to pay rent with it. You're going to buy some bullshit with it. Somebody's going to steal it from you. It's going to 0 anyway. All we're asking you to do is take the 4997, make an investment in yourself, and let's go find you a $1 million piece of real estate. No, a $1 million deal. A deal that makes you $1 million. Okay? I'm going to give you everything you need. If there was something else I thought you needed in here, I would include it. There is nothing. I'm going to give you, again, the Wealth Conference, the Real Estate Summit, the Introduction to Buying Apartments, the Master Class. Every week a call, 52 of them, and you can't miss them because they're recorded. So even if you missed them, we can get them to you. And I'm going to give you the real estate resource book. By the way, the real estate resource book by itself, just the PSA, which is a legal document that we use to buy and purchase real estate, would cost you $25,000. The resource book, $2,500. The real estate summit course, $5,000. The masterclass, $10,000. I'm giving you all that. And I'm giving you the mentoring as well as access to my entire network and the deals that we're looking at. It's a steal, okay? No offense to anyone, but if you don't do it, you're a zero. You're guaranteed to do 0 deals. You're just not going to go do any deals. Now, if you're already doing deals and you're like, bro, I got a lot out of this the last 2 days. I don't need this. I'm going to go roll. We're pulling for you. Like, I want you to join us, but if you decide to do it without us, go for it, okay? You guys that hit me on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn every day, by the way, and X and say, hey, man, what do you think about this deal? The only deals I ever talk about are the deals with our mentoring program and in our club. I do not give advice on anybody, to anyone, about deals. I do not underwrite deals. I don't approve deals. I don't give you an A, B, C, D. I'm not going to give you any feedback. I save that for everybody that's in the mentoring and our real estate club. So I hope you join us. By the way, this is tax deductible. I think it's section 179 of the tax code. So $5,000 if you're in a 40% tax bracket, saves you $2,000 in taxes this year. And if you get, what's that other code? Section what?
127
No, the professional real estate investor. Professional real estate, IRS selection. No, not 10,000 hours.
It is.
We should have it memorized by now.
469C7.
469C7.
I explained that to
100% of this would be deductible. 100% of this would be deductible. 100%. If you made $5,000 last year, you would pay for $5,000 for this. If your AGI was $5,000 and you wrote a check for $5,000, you would have a 0 tax bill if you qualified under code 469C7. The worst case is you're going to qualify for a $2,000 tax break. I'm not giving financial advice or tax advice, but I'm telling you that's how this law works. So you're writing that off. And more importantly, what are you getting? You're getting me and my team to help you and your team build a team so you can start becoming one of the most successful real estate investors in America. Okay, we talked about the excuses you have. Okay, I don't have the money. Good, not an excuse. It's bullshit. Stop it. Stop the madness. If you knew you were going to make $1 million, let me ask you this. I'm asking everybody in the room. If you knew for sure you would make $1 million investing in this course, would you find the money? Put a yes in if you would find the money. Maybe I can't see the bottom of the chat here. Exactly. So don't tell me you don't have the money, because a drug addict doesn't have any excuses. Y'all ever know that? The most broken people in society, no money, no credit, no trust, crippled, okay? Nobody believes them, and they ain't going home without that crack act. I'm going to get it. I'm going to figure it out. Why? Because the commitment level is so high. You guys got to get committed like a damn addict. Bent over in the streets for 3 and 4 hours at a time. Complete commitment. Y'all need to reverse the commitment, man. Y'all need to get committed like an addict. Say, no, I'm getting out of my bullshit. Okay? Excuses you got. I don't have money. I don't have knowledge. Good. How you going to get knowledge if you don't have knowledge? You commit to knowledge. I don't have the data. I don't have the deals. Great, man. You don't have to go to CoStar and pay $5,000 a month. You can come here. We'll give you access to deals in every market. Today and yesterday, I've looked at deals. I've probably shown you guys, 80 deals, and like briefly looking at deals. What do you need? Oh, I need debt. I don't have any debt. I don't have any relationships. I don't know how to talk to a bank. Okay, that's not an excuse anymore. Knowledge is not an excuse. By the way, notice this. Knowledge starts with know. I know something. I know how to do it. I know how to find the deals, how to find the money, and how to find the debt. I know how to find debt. I know how to find deals. I know how to find money. And how about this? I know how to find investors now. Okay. I started with $3,000. I had two things going for me. $3,000. That's all I had. $3,000 that I had to borrow from my mama. But it was still my $3,000. Once I got it from mama, it was my $3,000. And the second thing I had was this, that most of you don't have. No offense, commitment. I had a commitment. I had a ferocious, infinite commitment to get myself out of a situation where I had to go to my mama to get $3,000. So if you guys are that, you have this unbelievable dying quest and, dissatisfaction with life as you know it today, and you want to get out, join us. GrantCardone.com/join. GrantCardone.com/join. I hope you got a lot out of this today. I really appreciate you joining us. Anything we want to finish with?
Yes, we're going to start.
Oh, we're going to onboard everybody right now. Stop. Everybody that came in, we're going to onboard you right now. We're going to bring in our team to onboard you and show you where to start with the information, answer any last questions you had. We'll do that right now, and then our next meetup will be Friday, right?
At 3 p.m., yeah.
3 p.m. Now, between 3 p.m. and Friday, you should be starting on the introduction course to apartments. You got plenty of time to get through actually that and the master class. If you've done them already, you could get through them again. And that way on the Friday call, you'll be rocking, okay? Thank you again for being here. I hope you take advantage of the opportunity. God bless you. Be great. And let's go find some real estate that changes your life.
I'm talking hungry. Talking meals, now I'm talking money. Yeah. And I just feel like you got that for me. Yeah. Another deal right before the morning.